Good morning, everyone. Let us all get settled as we begin today's second Innovation Hackathon. To officially start the program, let's give a big hand to our hosts for today's final pitch, Miss Pinky Mante, FPM, and Mr. Eric Riego de Jos.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second PMAP HR Innovation Hackathon organized by the Research Committee of the People Management Association of the Philippines with the theme Breakthroughs in Employee Experience, or EX, through Agility and Innovation. I'm Pinky Mante, past president of PMAP Cebu and an HR consultant, and I will be one of your hosts this morning. To help me make this event a successful one, may I also call on my co-host, the dashing Mr. Eric Riego de Jos, the Global Vice President for Talent Experience, Doxa Talent. Good morning, and how are you, Eric?
Good morning, Pinky. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And coming from a very gorgeous person like you are, that is really a great compliment. I am very excited, Pinky, and thank you for starting off our event with a positive attitude. With that kind of approach, Pinky, I think we can only hope that our presenters will become enthusiastic and they would overcome any apprehensions that they might be feeling right now as they deliver their final pitches this morning. But before anything else, we would like to thank this year's PMAP Hackathon sponsor, OC Tanner, and its key leaders, Mr. Alan Hayward, Managing Director for Asia Pacific, Mr. Richard Wilkins, Marketing and Communications, Asia Pacific as well, Ms. Ashima Malik, Marketing Manager for Asia Pacific region, and of course, Mr. Russell Flint, our Director for Business Development for the Asia Pacific region, and also our keynote speaker. So let's get this thing going, Pinky. I would like to ask everyone to take a moment of silence as we begin with a prayer, our national anthem, and the PMAP hymn.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Kayang magiliw, dalas ng sinangalan, alam ng puso, sa likid mo'y buhay. Lupang pinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisitin, sa nagkakatulog sa simoy at sa langit ang bangaw, ay hinatang tulakawin sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y ay nanaginigin, ang bituin at araw niya kailan ang hindi magdidinig. Lumang ang araw ng warapit pagsingka, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng kangay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Pina, upholding mass respect and dignity. Promoting closer ties and harmony to keep our strength of unity. We believe in a goal for a strong economy. We believe in the role industry. We seek for guidance to our leader when problems come of management and men. Nowhere to keep the faith and trust that we have of our fellow man. Nowhere to keep the faith and trust that we have of our fellow
All right, thank you so much. And once again, good morning, everyone. And thank you for joining us today. This is HR Innovation Hackathon, dubbed as Breakthrough in Employee Experience through Agility and Innovation. It's PMAP's strategic step in mobilizing a community of experts in addressing varied issues related to people management, employee experience, and agility. Pinky?
That's right, Eric. And as an active PMAPper myself, we really wanted to be 10 steps ahead. For the information of everyone, the innovations we received this season is something that all ears must listen to. So make sure that everything you need, like water, pen, coffee, notepad, is within your reach, because we're sure that you don't want to miss every discussion or presentation that's going to happen today.
I agree with you, Pinky. So perhaps we can also have a quick check in our audience how they are feeling today, right, Pinky? So on your screen, let's wait for that. There you go. So on your screen is a Mentimeter code. So you can just scan it and kind of go through the menti.com. And if you want, you can enter the code 87524888. All right. So let's see whether our folks are already entering the Mentimeter website. Let's see whether we are already gaining some traction there, Pinky. So how many you think would be participating in this sort of a preliminary survey for us, just to get a feel of how our audience is feeling right now?
Yeah, I won't be able to see it. Maybe.
Yeah, in a few seconds or so, Pinky. So there you go. So let's see.
There you go.
There you are. So we have
Excited.
the word cloud here. So excited. And I'm very excited.
Energized.
Energized.
I love ecstatic.
Ecstatic, fantastic, happy. I actually thought that, Pinky, some of them will be saying, I feel a lot of pressure right now, as you know, that anecdote was saying, right? So I'm very happy that we're starting with a very great and positive note, Pinky. Happy even. Interested.
Yes. Fantastic and fabulous and brilliant.
Very positive. I think that's the right way of painting the start of this conversation.
I do hope, Eric, that our innovators are participating on this. I'm very interested on how they're feeling this morning.
All right. And I also like the word there.
Nervous.
Bombastic as well. So maybe we can harness even the nervousness there, Pinky, to a more productive way of expressing that energy. So wow,
Right.
Our audience mood is so positive right now, Pinky. And today I bet everyone now is excited to listen to our speakers, right? Aren't you? So without further ado, may we call on the chairperson of the research committee of PMAP, none other than Dr. Josette Reyes, Program Director for Human Capital and Organization Development, School of Education and Human Development of the University of Asia and the Pacific, to share with us more information about the program and to give us her opening message. Dr. Josette, welcome to our second Innovation
Good
Hackathon.
morning, welcome. I am so energized, excited, ecstatic as well, together with our two important hosts for today, for this activity, and together with the audience virtually, we welcome you. Thank you for introducing me for this opening message, Eric. And Pinky, thank you for being there. Okay, so the opening message is supposed to give you an idea of what's gonna happen. And as they have already given you a bird's eye view of what's going to happen, I'll just simply add that there will be 3 presentations. So let's sit back and relax as we continue being excited and ecstatic in the presentations of these chosen ones for our HR Innovation Hackathon this year. Okay, may I just propose as an opening message 2 major foundations of our activity today. As people, practitioners, human resource practitioners, I'd like to think that our activity today, the second Innovation Hackathon, which will be the final pitch for our presenters, with the theme Breakthroughs in Employee Experience Through Agility and Innovation, are all reminded to anchor our profession, being students, being in the field of human resource, on 2 major foundations. First is, in this age of artificial intelligence, chat GPT, and in this age of social media invading our lives, we are happy to embrace emerging technologies at the having that mindset of technology at the service of humanity. That's the first main message that I'd like to make as a foundation of our activity today. Technology at the service of humanity. There will be a lot of emerging technologies, but if it is not at the service of humanity, what's in it for us? Okay, so that's the first thing. Second is, the one major foundation of our innovation hackathon today is human-centric in emerging technologies. That's, we always have the human-centric mindset in discovering, in innovating, in having new ideas, because again, what's in it for, what is technology for us if it will not be serving the people around us? So as human resource practitioner, I welcome you again to this morning's second innovation hackathon with the theme Breakthroughs in Employee Experience Through Agility and Innovation, after which we will be able to know among the 3 presenters the chosen one. So towards the end of the day, we will be all excited, ecstatic to know who this presenter will be. So thank you very much, and sit back and relax. Virtually, we will be enjoying this activity today with our hosts, Pinky and Eric. Thank you and good morning, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Josette. Such an inspiring and renewing message, Dr. Josette. Thank you so much. And thank you for giving us a glimpse of what is in store for us and for everyone this morning. So now, let me introduce to you today's keynote session speaker. So every day, he helps organizations understand the power of workplace culture and recognition. And he shares stories about forward-thinking organizations with inspiring cultures. Joining OC Tanner in 2007, he has gained an in-depth understanding of the factors that influence culture and has worked in partnership with a broad range of blue chip and multinational organizations spanning industries such as banking and finance, professional services, energy and resources, government aviation, retail, healthcare, and construction. He is credited by colleagues as a team member who lives the values, being truly passionate about the organization's purpose, which is to help people thrive at work, and the powerful impact of employee recognition. So friends, a round of applause to OC Tanner's Director of Business Development for Asia Pacific, Mr. Russell Flint.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Pinky. What a wonderful start, and I'm feeling the energy just from your opening. And Dr. Joe said, I love this theme of human centric. It's what we're going to kind of center in on today, and what I share over the next 30 minutes. But Pinky and Eric, am I able to just share my screen from here? Actually, it looks like I can now. Let me go take that away. And just hoping for a thumbs up, you can see a title that says Integrated Employee Recognition. Wonderful.
It's clear.
Thank you. So what a wonderful topic you're centering in on, and I'm sure there'll be some fantastic submissions under this idea of breakthroughs in agility and innovation. And when we think of innovation and agility, we often think primarily in terms of technology. So what I wanted to start by sharing with you is a story that was about a genuine breakthrough moment for one of the world's largest mining companies. And this breakthrough was based primarily on emotional impact for the individual concerned and that witnessed it. But it's going to just help shape just this idea of the role and importance of employee recognition, and how it helps from creating this idea of a thriving workplace culture. We're doing quite a bit of work in the Philippines at the moment across our client base. So really excited to share what we are seeing and hearing in this space. So this is Edgar. Edgar grew up in Colombia from humble beginnings and studied incredibly hard. Left university, started his engineering career in the mining sector, and today he's the Chief Operating Officer of BHP, one of the largest mining companies in the world, having worked across their operations in the Americas and Australia and broader Asia Pacific. And just a few years ago, Edgar shared and celebrated his 30-year anniversary with the organisation. OC Tanner, we were lucky to play a role in creating this incredible moment and recognising Edgar's importance to the organisation. Edgar's leader started to put in motion a few months out to create an extraordinary celebration. In partnership with the BHP team, we helped to collate messages from colleagues, former colleagues, his family, his stakeholders and the people he'd worked with, but messages from all over the world. And it was a clamouring of people wanting to express their gratitude to Edgar. We prepared these into a collection of memories. I've got a sample of that here today. I wish we were in person to be able to kind of show a little bit more, but it was this really powerful collection of stories and nostalgia that Edgar was able to create. BHP then worked to set up a barbecue and bring people together on the anniversary day. Again, not revealing anything to Edgar, but 150 people from across the organisation came together, and as people assembled, Mike Henry, Edgar's leader and now the CEO of the organisation, declared the real reason that they were gathered. And it created this incredible moment of surprise for Edgar. His face when Mike referred to his family being there, and they sort of snuck them in behind the scenes, was he got very emotional and shed a tear as a few members of the team then started to tell stories and spoke about him, his contribution and the critical role he played in the organisation over such a long period of time. That was coupled with video messages from across the world and people that couldn't be there in person, but again, people sharing their views of Edgar and the time, including one person who'd worked with Edgar from the time that he was a work experience student, some 30 years prior. And the culmination of this moment was Edgar being able to kind of express his thanks at the way he felt. And I'll just paraphrase and read what he'd said back to the group. I can only say big thanks for what you did today. I know you were behind the scenes planning all of this. This can only happen when people like you, who care about others, put your hearts and minds together to make people feel special. This was so well managed. It's such a huge surprise that I still don't know when all of this happened, and I didn't have a clue. You made my day and made me feel special in the organisation I dedicated my life to. This feeling and this moment is what recognition and appreciation is all about. And as I noted earlier, these type of moments help organisations create a breakthrough in human side of business, the care, the community, and the belonging elements of the workplace. And thank you for the introduction, Eric and Pinky, that this is this feeling that just sort of this moment created. It's what OC Tanner have dedicated our purpose to, is to help organisations create these moments, big and small everyday moments, consistently and equitably for employees at scale. So we provide technology and consulting and administration services and so on to help organizations kind of make this part of habit in the way that people connect and interact. So we've been doing this for 95 years from our headquarters in Utah, America, and today we're still a family-owned entity and very closely operate under this purpose of helping people thrive at work, which I think, again, it ties so naturally to that theme of human-centered part of business that Josette described earlier. But with this purpose in mind, we're really lucky that we're able to invest heavily in research and creating global insights to what goes into creating great workplace culture and employee experience. And we do this through our research arm, the OC Tanner Institute, and regularly publish and share these insights through presentations like the one I'm delivering today, but to help organizations think about how to tackle the emerging and long-standing workforce and talent challenges that you face. So what I'm going to share, I'm going to talk a little bit about what thriving workplace culture looks like and just help you kind of think and shape and define that in the context of your own organization. I'm going to talk a little bit about this idea of appreciation. What does it mean and how do you do it? And then a little bit of sort of some practical insights that you can take back to your own business around moments and opportunities and best practices, how to bring this to life in an organization. And I hope this helps you think about breakthroughs again in your own business over the weeks ahead. So what is workplace culture? And this is one of these kind of etherical things that if you ask 5 people what their definition of workplace culture is, you'll get 7 different answers. But in how I think about it, it's the beliefs and the attitudes and the behavioral norms that form the essence of an organization. It's visible in the way that work happens within the business and how communication flows up and down, sideways and across function. And it also helps you create, or is visible in how the relationships function within the business. Particularly over the last 2 years, we've seen this really pronounced. But workplace culture helps organizations. It influences how you respond to change, how you respond to challenges, and ultimately can propel a business towards its objectives or hinder it, depending on what your strategies and goals and the way that, again, that idea of communication and interaction. Through a global study in 2019, the OC Tanner team identified the 6, what we believe are the 6 essential elements of a great workplace culture. And these are the aspects that employees themselves identified as most meaningful to them. They're grounded in the employee experience and are fundamental building blocks of a great culture. And we call them the talent magnets, essentially because they attract and connect people to the places they work in. Talent magnets, when they're present, will attract the best people to your organization. They draw out an employee's inherent desire to do meaningful work and to make a difference within the work that they do. They can help you retain employees, which obviously is fundamental to business at the moment and the challenges that many of you are facing. But this framework can also be a helpful construct to develop your culture plans and evaluate initiatives and whether they're right for the business or going to maximise from a value and return perspective. But this is also a frame to help you measure the impact of any culture building efforts. Are we actually making a difference to the employee experience? So if I break each of these down, and you'll know different kind of definitions of these pieces, but the purpose being the higher value, the greater good in which a business operates. What are employees working towards? What's their kind of common and collective purpose as a group? Opportunity, we kind of think about, well, as an employee, do I feel like I have opportunity? But this isn't just about linear career progression. This is also about opportunity in the sense of, do I have the ability to grow? Do I have the ability to learn? Is there something more for me in the organization? And again, that doesn't just have to be about linear career progression. Success, a really simple one. I feel like I work for an organization that is successful in what it sets out to achieve. For me as a team, I make a difference to that success. Appreciation, we're going to unpack a little bit today, but again, it's at its simplest level, I feel seen, heard, and valued for the work that I do in the organization, the difference that it makes, and who I am as a person. Am I valued by my peers, my colleagues, and the business as a whole? Well-being, not just about physical well-being, it's about emotional well-being and psychological safety, financial well-being. It's this holistic idea of, I feel cared for, I feel safe, and I feel comfortable in the organisation I'm a part of. And then you come to leadership, one of these critical levers that can really unite a whole range of things in the business. But we want employees to feel like that they are connected, not just to their direct leader, but the leadership cohort as a whole. Feel like they're cared for, there's trust, there's open communication. These sort of senses and this idea of modern coaching, connected leadership is really where a lot of organizations are shifting their strategies to. What we also help do, and I referenced studies, but each year we do deliver what we call the AC Talent Global Culture Report. And we'll share and make this available today. But part of this report and the research that we do, conducting focus groups, interviews, and extensive surveys globally, is we actually provide an indices of how these talent magnets come into life in many of the countries in which we operate, one of which is the Philippines. And I'm so pleased to share that the way that these talent magnets appear to be coming through employee sentiment within the Philippines is certainly a level above a number of other markets within Asia. You know, this sense of success and purpose and opportunity and leadership is really strong in comparison to some other countries. But what we're also hearing in the research that we're conducting now, early 2023 for our 2024 Global Culture Report, is that the talent challenges that have come out of the pandemic and the way organizations have changed, employees are demanding more from employers, not just in the Philippines, but in every part of the world. And what we're hearing is, particularly in the Philippines, is the need for employees to feel a strong connection to leadership, support for well-being, and in particular, a greater sense of appreciation in the work that they do and the person that they are in the business. And that brings us to the importance of recognition. And where I thought it was worth starting today was just to share a quote. And I like the way that Oprah has articulated this. I think Oprah is one of these ubiquitous personalities globally. We all know her brand, but she articulates this really neatly. So I'm just going to read it. The single most important lesson I've learned in 25 years, talking every single day to people, was that there's a common denominator in our human experience. We want to be validated. We want to be understood. As soon as that camera shuts off, everyone always turns to me and inevitably, in their own way, asks this question: was that okay? Heard it from heroes and homemakers. We all want to know one thing: was it okay? Did you hear me? Did you see me? Did what I say mean anything to you? And it comes to the heart of what recognition is. It's about helping people be seen, heard, and valued for who they are and the role they play. It's this validation. So when we talk about this idea of recognition in how I articulate it to organizations with the consulting and delivering these sort of presentations, is it's an interaction between people. It's organic and it takes on many forms. It should be part of the fabric of how we work and how we connect as a team, as a group, as a business. And it's about genuinely noticing your colleagues and helping them feel valued. So we often hear the concepts of recognition and appreciation used sometimes interchangeably or in the same context, but to kind of help understand the difference in the way that I think about this is recognition is an act and appreciation is a feeling that you create from that act when you do the recognition well. You can do recognition in a way that doesn't create a sense of appreciation if you're not specific about the moment or you miss from a timeliness perspective. And we'll talk about some of these practical themes in a few moments. But when recognition is a key part of the employee experience, and when it's delivered in a way that creates that sense, that feeling of appreciation, it can play a key role in elevating those talent magnets that I talked about earlier, but also about creating connection, belonging, sense of fulfillment in my work and community in the workplace. So again, when we help organizations show the strategy around the employee experience and recognition and how to do it at scale, we start by the three naturally occurring opportunities to create recognition. The first of these is everyday encouragement of effort. And this is about just simply, praise, gratitude, just saying thank you and recognizing just those stepping stones that are on that pathway to high performance or exceptional behavior. You do this well and you start to instill, really strong confidence from employees in the work that they're doing and that they're in good standing with their peers. It creates this deeper sense of trust and relationship with the manager and colleagues. But when you then also, as I said, you start to create this pathway to the exceptional. And when you then celebrate results for exceptional achievements and do that in a way a little bit more formally where it makes sense. Then you do this well and you start to create this desire to innovate and focus on customer experience, both from an internal stakeholder perspective, but also from external and difference making from your organizational purpose perspective. But what's really important in these moments is the storytelling. Why was this important to business? How did it connect to the purpose and what we're trying to achieve? And when you tell these stories, someone who's been recognized starts to become known as a difference maker and someone that's really important in the fabric of the business. And again, that theme, what you're trying to achieve from an organizational standpoint. And then the third opportunity, one that is really growing in importance in Asia Pacific and particularly the Philippines, is this idea of celebrating careers. So many years gone past, we've recognized loyalty and tenure and the big milestones that might happen, and service awards and that type of thing. But this is about taking this elevating it to another thing. Yes, it's about those important tenure milestones, but it's also about how does someone sustain their time and their life over a career with an organization. And when we talk about this and doing it well, it's what sort of onboarding experience do you create? How do you create recognition moments in someone's first 30 days, their first day, and make them feel really welcomed and part of the fabric of the team very early on in the team? It's also about how do you recognize those accreditations or upskilling or training that people might do, just to kind of recognize again that they're growing, they're learning with the organization. It could be secondments or completing a graduate program, those sort of things. And then you create the big moments like the Edgar one, and you show and you demonstrate back to the business why someone how someone has built a career with the organization, and make them feel deeply connected, and again demonstrate that why the human element is really important in the way we do business as an organization. And do this really well, and you cater across a number of different elements and create this deep sense of fit and belonging, connection between leader and team members, and sense of trust. These three pieces come together, it becomes really powerful. It's also then time at that point to think about, well, how is the recognition delivered? And the importance of this sensitive awareness of the recognition preferences of individuals. So when you're creating or crafting a recognition moment, doing it in a way that's meaningful to the individual. So there's times where public recognition is appropriate and times where private one-to-one moments are equally as important. I'm going to share a little bit of an excerpt of some of the training that we often are engaged to deliver to leaders or to people that are being identified as potential change champions within an organization. And referencing back to Edgar, and I'm very lucky to sit down with him for a few conversations in our work with BHP. And the way he describes when recognition is delivered well in this meaningful and authentic way, creates warmth in leadership and a sense of warmth in the work that people do, which I think is a really nice, simple way to kind of articulate the difference that we can make. So the first of four principles that we often talk about is the need or the importance of frequency of recognition. It can't be just one moment in isolation and then it's 6 months before your next recognition. Gallup talks about the need for people to be recognised at work about once a week. But this should also fluctuate in times of difficulty or significant challenge. This should be even more frequent to reinforce the support and encouragement, again, in that time of challenge. So through the pandemic, many of our clients, we have many clients in the hospital and healthcare sector. And in these times of difficulty and really strong physical and emotional challenge, we encourage leaders within these healthcare providers and hospital networks to ensure recognition was present every single day for employees. Again, that they were reinforcing that they were on the right track, doing the right job. And these were just about informal, not conversational moments, but it was making sure that they were delivered in an authentic way. What we encourage is for leaders to set your own goals, keep track of the work that's happening and what you can do to create recognition frequency or recognition at pace within your team that's appropriate for the work that's been delivered. We often recommend leaders set 2 recurring weekly appointments in the calendar, just 5 minutes each, and use them to review recognition needs and are there any opportunities that need to be capitalised on. We often encourage it alongside that the setting of 1 weekly appointment. I've got one in my diary for 9:30 on Friday mornings, but this is where you can plan and execute recognition moments for your team. And keeping these appointments just helps build routine and habit and keeps it front of mind. We all get busy, so it's just that important reminder that to look for opportunities and create moments. We often encourage the creating of space within team huddles for recognition moments. Again, my personal experience, we have a team huddle every Monday, and we have a standing agenda item at the start of each meeting to create recognition moments, give people space and colleagues and peers. It's not just about me recognising individuals, it's about peers having the opportunity to kind of share stories of what's valued, what's been seen in the last week that should call out and celebrate. The second principle that we talk about is timeliness. And a simple sporting analogy here is when do Olympians receive their medals? They receive them very soon after the event. So swimmers, their hair's still wet. Sometimes runners still sweaty, exhausted. But it wouldn't be nearly as meaningful if the medals were presented a week after the games or a number of months later in an annual banquet. When it comes to recognition, late is better than never, but not by much. So to gain the most impact, find ways to recognise team members as close to the achievements as possible. In Asia, this is where we're doing a lot of work with our clients. Many organisations across APAC, including in the Philippines, have large event-based recognition that often occurs quarterly or annually. These are important, but they need to be balanced out with that in the moment conversational type recognition, not saving things up until a particular event. So even when we talk about breakthroughs, this is one of the simple ones that many Philippines-based businesses are exploring as part of that employee experience and life cycle. The third principle is the need to be inclusive. Effective recognition means regularly recognising each employee with no exceptions. Everyone having the opportunity, irrespective of my role, to be recognised and reinforced and encouraged for the work. When you're recognising a group effort or a team moment, make sure to acknowledge each person who contributed, but also specifically how they contributed, because that can be different depending on the individual. Celebrate each person based on their own unique strengths, not in comparison to others, but in comparison to their own best work. For example, if Alex writes a report that is concise and insightful in a way that he hadn't delivered before, let him know. It doesn't matter if others in the team meet that standard every time they're delivering a report. It's all about the individual and how they've elevated their own. And then the final piece, and this is a really important one when we talk about reinforcing purpose and values and objectives in the work that's delivered and tie individuals to that higher need, but the language that you use in a recognition moment, how you set the scene of why this is important, what action someone actually took, and then reinforce the outcome that was created. But when we're talking about accomplishment, this helps to reinforce the why and create models of behaviour and storytelling. And again, something in our work in the Philippines at the moment is how do we draw out the right kind of language and what essentially many people being very shy in actually crafting a recognition moment or writing about colleagues. But when you connect the achievement in the right way to team goals or the organisation's purpose, you're reinforcing again the point, what's important, and making it clear that you're not being arbitrary about the recognition needs. So I want to highlight one, as a final point, one common mistake that leaders can make when giving recognition, and that is mixing it with some kind of critique. Never mix praise and criticism. And a simple trick here is to avoid the word but in the recognition moment. So great job on your proposal, but you could really improve your grammar. When you use the word but, people are going to really focus and hone in on what came after the but, not what was said before. And I've often had some really healthy debates in workshops on this around, well, how do you actually separate the two and create natural space for both to occur, which is really important. And if we elevate back up to the organisational standpoint around this idea of recognition, a few years ago, Citano and our institute published this idea of recognition integration model to help organisations evaluate and measure how well recognition is delivered as part of the everyday employee experience. So recognition is most powerful when it's typically part of the everyday experiences of employees, where recognition is given, received, and observed often, and where both small and large outcomes are called out in personalised ways. So over time, within an organisational setting, recognition moves from something we do to a reflection of who we are as a business and what we stand for. And I'll call out two pieces here that are really important in the Philippines settings. And I'm emphasizing these points for a really important reason, and that is in the Philippine settings, the recognition of both large and small efforts. So again, often the really exceptional things are called out and celebrated on a grand scale, particularly in the Philippines, but how do we actually capture some of these smaller, just everyday encouragement efforts, particularly as generations in the workforce change and the need for regular, frequent positive feedback to connect people is becoming important. And again, back to that point of the preferences of individuals are taken into account in how the recognition is delivered. Again, the balance between public and private moments is really important. So in our research, we've identified only 21% of organizations score highly on this idea of integrated recognition. And when we measure with organizations, we're often setting the goal of create 3 or more recognition moments per month. And again, this isn't all about formal celebratory events. This is just natural moments of everyday encouragement that are appropriate in the work that someone's delivering. But when you start to achieve that sort of cadence, your recognition is becoming consistently seen in the organization. And when you do this well, again, you start to create results that are really profound. One of the organisations that we work with in APAC is IAG, or Insurance Australia Group, one of the largest insurers in the region. So we helped them create a refreshed approach to everyday recognition that was aligned with their new organisational purpose and values. And we used everyday nominations and e-cards to bring the values and the purpose to life and encourage regularly sharing of these moments and creating appreciation across their 15,000 employees. After 12 months, they'd created more than 200,000 recorded recognition moments. We used that data to analyse the effectiveness and impact of these moments alongside their employee sentiment. And we're able to demonstrate that we created an uplift in the odds of employees recommending IAG as a great place to work by 162% where formal recognition was present. An increase of 136% in the odds of an employee reporting stronger discretionary effort, a really important measure in the work that they're going to take. And then another simple one, an 137% increase in the odds of employees reporting stronger pride in working for IAG, again, when that formal recognition is present. So powerful data that helped us reinforce why they put recognition in place and how it's coming to life in the business. I'm going to skip through quickly because I'm conscious of time and having some time for questions. But one of the other measures that we look at is also the influence of recognition on retention. A really simple people outcome that we can help measure. GE really recognised the brand. You can see some statistics here, but really powerful. The probability of attrition reduced dramatically when that formal and informal recognition was frequent and present in the everyday employee experience. And then finally, and you think about the outcomes and purpose, we're working with a global insurance client. We measured recognition moments alongside the customer sentiment pulse surveys that were sent out after a customer service interaction. And we demonstrated uplift in how the employee, how the customer felt that the employee had showed concern, had proactively kept them informed, and also returned calls promptly. So some really simple customer service measures that were important, and again, with the linkage to recognition. So I referenced our report earlier. Please feel free to access that. It's freely available via the OC Tanna Southeast Asia website, which we have the URL there. Some great themes emerging around workplace culture, around ideas of community and how you create fulfillment, but also things like burnout. And what are some simple things that employees can do to help respond to these things in your organisation? I'm really happy to connect at any point if you've got ideas, thoughts, stories, and so on. And I've also put the LinkedIn profile link here of Ken Tanner, one of our senior leaders in Asia, for any questions. Ken's based in Singapore, I'm in Melbourne, but we're always happy to connect on these topics. Pinky and Eric, I'm really happy. If I'm conscious of time, we might be a few minutes behind, but if you did want to have any questions or collate those and send them afterwards, happy to do that.
Wow, what an inspiring session, Russell. It's great to be working with a trusted friend by your side and growing the business at the same time, right? What a journey both of you had, Russell. And not only providing technology and consulting, your company actually is teaching people how to work and enjoy although you invest heavily in science, hopefully our innovators are more inspired now after hearing your talk, Russell. I like how you described a thriving workplace culture, which you mentioned influences how organizations respond to change and can propel or restrain the best laid strategy, which actually is anchored by your culture framework. It is very interesting, Eric, right? Six talent magnets, which is purpose, opportunity, employee sense of success, which seems to be the most important one and needs to be validated and understood. Appreciation, well-being, and leadership. That sense of appreciation in community, fulfillment, connection, and belonging. Great work. I also like the when you talked about great work, it would mean encouraging efforts, reward results, which focus on outcomes to drive results, and it must be timely. It's very important. And celebrate careers, sustain performance over a career for employees to feel valued, have a sense of belonging, and must be inclusive, having a connection to the leader and improve relationship with peers. Everything must be connected to the bigger picture. Isn't it inspiring, Eric?
Very, very inspiring. So Russell, I had goosebumps while listening to, Russell was very soft spoken, but the content and the essence of what he is sharing with us is really very impactful to me personally, at least, especially now that you have, and Vicky, what a great summary as well, because when I was listening to you, this is some sort of a fast forward kind of a thing of whatever Russell said earlier. However, I think, the main takeaway for me personally is really, you cannot really set aside the power of the human spirit once you enable them to really thrive at the workplace. And having that sense of recognition really integrated into the culture and to the day-to-day experience, you will really accelerate everything. And I think you will really make the business successful through this. So, sometimes we just see this as, nice things to have, but I guess there's really science into it, to bringing success to the business by going through this route, Pinky. So it makes a lot of sense, and something that I think I would really take on and bring to my actual workplace. So thank you, Russell.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much, Russell.
Great summary.
Can we ask our audience if you have any questions so that Russell can quickly answer them? Let me check the chat box. I guess there's none at this point. So thank you so much, Russell, for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you for helping out and partnering with PMAP.
Much
You're
appreciated,
welcome,
Russell, and OC
and best-
Tanner.
Best wishes to the presenters today. Look forward to hearing the innovations.
There you go. Thanks,
Yeah.
Russell,
Thank you.
for that as
Take
well.
care. Bye-bye.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. At this point, may we also call on the project leader of this year's PMAP Hackathon, the Human Resources Lead of Entity Philippine Solutions Incorporated, and an educator in the De La Salle College of St. Benilde, Ms. Veronica Estrella, SHRM SCP, to walk us through the previous activities of this event. Veron?
Hi, good afternoon, good morning to everyone. I'm sorry, I'm actually out now, mobile, but like what Doc just said, let's use technology to our advantage. So that's what I'm using, doing at the moment. So thank you so much, Pinky, Eric, of course, listening to Russell as well earlier, very much into technology. I like the part on recognition. Definitely, it's a revolutionary, something that's really needed, especially now in terms of our employee experience journey. So let me just go through very quickly, with regard to the roadmap that we undertook, for in this hackathon. So Doc just said, Eric, Pinky, you all mentioned a lot about, the journey that we did, for this HR Innovation Hackathon. This is the second year that we're doing this. So of course we started we launched this, sometime in February, where we called for registration. The theme, as we've been mentioning earlier, is that the theme is breakthroughs in employee experience through agility and innovation. Of course, the backdrop for this is our PMAP slogan as well of refocus, reconnect, and restart. So we officially launched the project in the program in February. We called for registration. We used the social media. I know Martin also did some TikTok segment on that. Kuela. And we also reached out to the schools for also for participation as well. We did get a lot of a huge interest from that launch. I think more than 50 actually registered, or really more than that registered for this program. The PMAP team also helped us, with all the collaterals. We kicked off the program on March 8th after we did the registration launch. And then we did the hackathon proper between March 1 to 15th. It has been a huge challenge. I know, quite a challenge for those who registered to be able to complete their entries. And finally, of course, we had the judging of submitted entries during the first 2 weeks of April. And of course, today, this is the final pitch. So we'd like to thank all the teams that submitted their entries. We also would like to thank our judges who, took their time to go through the submissions. And now we're here, the final pitch, and we will hear the three teams, that made it to this to this pitch today. And later, after the deliberation of the judges, together with some of the members of the committee, we'll be announcing the winner. So thank you, and hopefully, we'll have not hopefully, but we're looking to do another hackathon next year, learning from the annual hackathons that we're doing to make it better and more and improved as well. So Pinky, over to you. I know everyone is excited already to hear the pitches of our teams today. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson Veron, which also happens to be my personal mentor as well. So thank you for that substantive recap. And now we
Thanks,
are
Eric.
at one of the most exciting parts of this program. So first, we will introduce who our innovators are, and we will also present the three credible experts in the field of innovation and people management who happen to be our judges as well. All right, so here we go. So the first team to present will be the group of, drum roll please. All right, here are the pitching teams. So we have the first team to present would be, I'm waiting for the slide. Let's go. There you go. So this is the team composed of Melanie Colatreva, Christian Coy Valencia, Franzo Martin, Jocelyn Osenia, and Aljon Fernandez with their innovation entitled This Map FAW Mapping System. Team, please be ready with your presentation because in a few minutes, we will call on you again for your pitching proper. So the second team to present our innovators, so you're hearing it? Okay. Brittany Grace Kalulot, Ryan Kenneth Negrana, Estela Marie Cabalsa, Rhea Marie Guerrero, and Christian Remigio with their innovation called Vehicle AI Insurance Damage Evaluation. All right, good luck, team. And last but not the least, we have to present our, drumroll, Jodalmar Beltran, Melhiza Joy Sosa, Kiza Janara, Batuing, Aldrin Nicole Frase, and Edge Idulan with their innovation called Sundo Cargo and Passenger Reservation App. There you go. Those are our presenting teams for today. Pinky?
And friends, take a deep breath and drink a glass of water if you need to. Please allow me to introduce to you our esteemed panel of judges. Let us all acknowledge and give a warm virtual applause to the Chief Talent Officer and CEO of PM Consulting, Mr. Gilbert Kamasura, Ernst and Young Global Delivery Services Global Talent Shared Services Leader, Mr. Denchu Jose Decino, and the senior lecturer at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology Sloan School of Management and founder of the Global Opportunity Initiative, Dr. George Westerman. Thank you, gentlemen, for giving your time and expertise today. A few reminders to our innovators. You are only given 20 minutes to make your final pitch. The moment you exceed your presentation to a maximum of 22 minutes, we will step in and call our judges to do the Q&A. Going beyond the 20-minute final pitch also means a deduction of your scores by our judges. After your 20-minute final pitch, we will be calling our judges to the virtual stage to do a 15-minute Q&A. Now, to ensure that you stick to the time limit, our technical team will turn on the digital timer. We hope that all of you will not go longer than the allocated 20 minutes. Now, let us proceed to the core of this program. May we call on our first presenter, this FAW, Mapping Systems team, to show us their innovation. Team, you may now proceed. Turn on your videos and audios. And you can share your screen.
Yes. Good luck, team.
Good luck and enjoy.
Enjoy.
Okay, thank you. First of all, may I ask, am I audible?
Yes, you
Yes,
are.
sir. Go
Yes,
ahead.
thank you. Let me just share my screen. Can you guys see it?
Yes, we can.
I, so first of all, may I introduce myself? My name is Christian Chloe Valencia, and I am the presenter of this map, the Fall Armyworm Disease Mapping and Mobile Apps. So may I ask you, what is the most important staple food in the world? So the most important staple food in the world is corn. It has 19.6% total in whole world. And the second is the rice. It has 15.6% share in whole world. So that is why corn is the most significant staple food in the world because it is at risk because of these fall armyworms affecting the crops of this. So let us begin. So first of all, let us let us know first the cycle of life cycle of fall armyworm. Here, as we can see, there are 4 stages of the fall armyworm. The first stage is egg, the second is larvae, the third is pupa, and the fourth is the moth. On the first stage, the moth will lay eggs will lay a large amount of eggs, which is hundreds of eggs. After 2 to 3 days, the eggs will hatch and will turn into a larvae. And this is the most dangerous, destructive stage of the fall armyworm because they ate the leaves and stems of the crops. After 14 days, the larvae will become a pupa and undergo metamorphosis. And after 7 to 21 days, the pupa will turn into an adult moth. And the lives go on after 10 to 14 days. So on the third slide, here we can see there are 4 major problems in fall armyworms. So in 2020, there are 8,000 hectares of crops damaged in the Philippines. Half of it, 4,000 hectares uh, is from Cagayan Valley. And there are top 4 corn producing regions fall infested in the Philippines. And there are 20 billion corn of losses in 2090 in the Philippines. So, and there's lost revenue at 18 pesos per kilogram. So we developed some solutions that to to combat the fall armyworm. So at first step, we the users or farmers will scan the pest by using our mobile apps. And after that, the application will detect the fall. And on the third step, the agricultural experts will validate if the application detected is valid, and the farmers will giving feedback to the agriculture. And um, the uh, after success validation, it will be mapped in the geotag location if using GIS technology. So on the fifth slide, here is our service features. So as you can see, we have three buttons here: report for, list of records, and about this map. On report for feature, we have four information that will be inputted by the user: the barangay, the date, and the message, and upload image. When the user uploaded the information, it will be directed to our database, to the database, and be shown in this list of records. And it will be mapped in the GIS. So in six, our competitive analysis. So as we as we see here, we have we have we have some services that we are provided that other other companies that don't have. We have custom reports, data analytics, for validation, for forecasting, GIS mapping, and CERTI for PCIC. So why now? Why is it important to implement our mobile application? So as I said earlier, CURD is a word stable craft under threat. And that if we apply this, we will have two zero hungers. And if we improve craft management practice, we have responsible consumption and production. And the infestation happens in hottest month. So as you can see, the climate change is a uh, big uh, factor of this fall army worm. So our market potential is uh, total available market is 96 nine corn growing region in the Philippines. So the we have 80% of total available market in the sum and 60% of serviceable market available for the 45 LGUs. So in our business model, we have we have three subscription plan: silver, gold, platinum. So Our service features is GIS mapping, 34 PCIC, custom report, for forecast, data analytics. So by each subscription plans has um, advantage and cost. And in silver plan, only the GIS mapping and 34 PCIC, and gold is only GIS 34 PCIC and custom report. And the platinum is GIS mapping 34 PCIC custom report for forecast data analytics. Philippine Crop Insurance. So let me introduce our team. The head of operation is Miss Melanie Coletra, head of operation. And our head of ICT is Aljon Fernandez. And head of media relations is Jocelyn Osenia. Head of marketing is Fraenzo Martin. And I'm the head of advertising, Christian Chloe Valencia. And our consultants is Sir Fernando Jaminola Jr. and Lanojan Emer Aking. So here is the financial of development of an AI recognition and ICT hosting and data infrastructure, salary of 6 staff at 30,000 per month, equity outlay, office rent and utilities 100,000 per month, advertising 500,000 per year. So that totals over 3 years is 10,760,000 revenue. And revenue forecast 25 LGUs, Y2, and 40 LGUs, YT, and 60 LGUs. Advertising revenue at 200,000 a year. The total revenue over 2 years is 7,150,000. So the ROI is 1.5 years. So as of now, this is our vision. And as of now, we are ongoing trials with the LGU Piat, Cagayan, and data gathered from Smart City, Kawayan, Isabela. And in 2024, we get 15 LGUs from Cagayan Valley and Socargen as adapters. And in 2025, get the rest of corn growing LGUs, expand applications to crop like rice, coconut, and others. In 2026, explore business ventures in ASEAN, and 2027, explore business ventures in Africa. So, uh, so let me ex- explain first. So I will have an examples on this uh, uh, on how our application works. So for example, a farmer from a certain location will scan of their crops, and if a detected if the mobile detected a pest in their crops, it will be uploaded to the systems database, and there will be a admin system for that, and that will be for the agricultural experts, and they will be validating if there is a uh, culprit detected or not. So after they validate it, it will be mapped there the barangay that the farmers or users inputted in the uh, here in the report form. So So if so that using this our application, um, the farmers will easily um, uh, advance the prevention of their crops if in the nearby nearby land crops and they and yeah. So that is our presentation. Thank you and thank you for listening and have a good
All right, thank you, Christian of the Dismap team. May we invite all of the team members of Christian to turn on their videos and also unmute themselves to get ready for our judges to start the question and answer portion for you. So may we call on our judges as well. So we have Gilbert, a friend in the industry, Denchu, a leader in the shared services world, and of course from the academe, Dr. George. May we invite you to turn on your videos and unmute yourselves so that we can start with our question and answer portion for Team Dismap. Team Dismap, may we also invite you to again turn on your videos and unmute yourselves so that we can start the question and answer proper. We are handing this over to you, judges. Any sequence will do, and be ready, Team Dismap, to respond to the questions. Judges.
Thank you, Eric. Maybe I can start. So congratulations, Steve, Christian, and team for a great presentation. When I reflect upon the area of focus for your team, right, it's really appropriate from a Philippines context. Given the fact that according to the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, the Philippines is the most food insecure country in emerging Asia. And that is because we rely a lot on imported food to feed our ever-expanding population. Now, the fall armyworm can feed on more than 80 crops, majority of which will be corn and rice. And then in addition to the fall armyworm, we also have the corn earworm. That is, again, another top pest for corns in the Philippines. So my question to you is, how portable is your technology to be able to cover not just fall armyworm, but also the corn earworm, another top pests? And then beyond corn, how portable is the technology to be able to cover other crops?
All right, any member from the Team Dismap can respond to that question? So Christian, Jocelyn, Frenzo, feel free to respond. So may I check whether we have all understood the question? So ang narinig ko doon, ang sabi ni Judge Denchu, sabi niya, gaano ba ka-flexible itong app natin to detect other potential pests sa ating sa ating mga crops. No? So pwede ba nating ma-amplify yung application or ma-enhance or kahit the current configuration? How will that address that question? So feel free to respond.
Sir, it's rice have a value.
Yes, go ahead. Who's
High
that?
value po.
Go ahead, Jocelyn.
Sir, it's rice and high value vegetables. Using mobile app, sir. Using our mobile app.
So what I'm hearing is rice and high value vegetable is also included in the configuration of your app. Is that correct? Could you elaborate more on that?
Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. I was really curious if it was just focused on corn as a top crop. But looks like the technology is flexible enough to cover high value veg and rice, which is obviously our most important staple food in the Philippines. To Eric's point. Thank you.
All right. Hello. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Great presentation of the Fall Army. I understand how you care about our country being an agri-producing, a part of the region in Asia that we're known for that. However, my questions are in the following. I saw I saw how you were trying to connect this and relate this to human resources, farmers being part of the workforce. My question is, has there been like, a research done to see the effect of this to increase productivity? Say, for example, I used your application, right? I detected, some unnecessary worms, or the fall army worms that are there. what what have you seen? How have you seen this improve efficiency? Say, for example, if there is a need for us to redo the crop planting, then what was the lost time? And then I saw that you had a lost value, but how do you correlate this to the workforce productivity, them being farmer? That's my first question. Number two, I noticed that in your process map you did only mention the information output, but I was curious, how is this going to trigger? You pass it on to the LGU, and as you know, if we depend on the government, your application will never work. Sorry, that's the reality that is hurting. Number three, have you ever tested your application knowing that this is an agri company? Have you coordinated at all? Have you tested the sustainability of this project to internet connectivity? You know that in some farms where the right crop is there, where you need to do actual tests. And what if it is a far flung? Have you considered this as your project? Thank you.
So three layers of questions there, guys. So hopefully you can address any one of them in no particular order, just for us to carry on the conversation.
So for the first question, sir, yes, we conduct this activity. We have this activity. We have a trial system, which is located at Piat Cagayan, because Piat Cagayan is the first fowl infestation. So first fowl infestation in the Philippines. So we did this because um, we did this using the blockchain, event location tags, and AI predictive analytics for forecasting of fowl infestation, and we're using the GIS mapping to map the infestation of the said threat. And to the second question, sir,
Follow
we
through
are
with that. So what did you find out as a result? Did you see, of course, there are worms infecting the whole crop. How did you look at that research data to increase efficiency? So how did that help? That's where I'm curious.
pardon, sir. Can you please repeat the question?
You
Because
mentioned that you in your mapping you identified this is the, say, infested area of having crops to be having this fall armyworm. How did that actually translate to increasing, say, for example, this given this scenario data? How did you increase farmers' efficiency to cope up, right? To produce more because there's a demand for corn. How did that application help them? I'm trying to see, your application being integrating this and making this at an ease of adoption for any farmers for that purpose. Thank you.
Sir, yearly it will decrease by the timely intervention, and using this map, sir, the farmers will have focus. Sorry. The farmer will forecast the said threat, and they will have timely intervention, which is the threat will be decreased yearly if this application or this mobile app will be implemented for them to know to how to mitigate the foul. And we all know that May is the hottest month of the year. So it takes a whole community, sir, to solve it.
Okay, if you could respond now to the second question, if ever. Go ahead.
Can you please repeat the second question, sir?
Oh, so you were about to respond to the second question. So earlier, Gilbert actually asked 3 layers of question. He just had a follow-up question on your first response. So if you have a response to the second question he mentioned earlier on, you may proceed to do so.
The second question, Eric, was around the process map that was identified, and I think the action, I felt like it was partial or impartial, that it was passed on to the LGU or government that there is an issue of the infestation. However, that did not at all address what our concerns are. And I said, if you rely on government, then your application becomes irrelevant at all, because it has something to be really more to support and help the farmers and not to rely on government. If you ask that your application be a data for government, they will only use this data to ask for budget. But where is the budget going to go? Not necessarily to the farmer's efficiency or productivity. So what is the action thing that goes on to the user? I'm the user, I'm the farmer, I'm using it, I detected. What do I do? You said, I can detect, I pass it on to the government. Maybe because you wanted to ask for some fund or the farmers don't have fund, whatever. How do you do it? Sorry, I think I'm lacking time, but if you can just quickly answer this, because I wanted to have George as well to ask questions.
Sir, it is in the city municipal agriculture office. So we are centered on the Philippine Crop Insurance, sir, PCIC, sir. So we need them to validate the foul infestation.
And quick one on the internet connectivity. Have you checked this? Knowing that I'm also losing you right now, I'm not sure where you are coming from, but internet has always been an issue, even for remote study or work. How have you tested this to make sure that you're live when you're doing all this work?
We use this mobile application online and offline, sir. It will be used online and offline, sir.
Thank you.
Using the geotag, sir.
All right. I know we're running out of time. So, George, do you have questions for the team?
I do. One question builds on Judge Gilbert's, so I'll come back to that in a second. First question, though, is where did you come up with this idea? Who had the idea? Where did it come from? And how did you learn all of this stuff?
Actually, sir, we are from Cagayan. Then we all know here in Cagayan, the first infestation is in Piat, which is in Cagayan, there is 4,000 hectares. Hectares which is damaged by the foul infestation. So we come up with this activity, or we come up with this project to mitigate the foul infestation on the corn, to help the farmers and also the agriculturists.
Great, thank you, thank you. So you are, you are innovating based on something that you know about, which is a good thing. Often people try to innovate about somebody else's problem, and they don't understand the problem. So if you are right in the middle of this, that's a good thing. My next question builds on what Judge Gilbert was saying. You have several stakeholders involved here. You have the farmers, you have the LGOs, to some extent you have the agricultural buyers, to some extent you have the companies supplying the remedies and those things. And when I think about an innovation like this, I always try to think about, for each stakeholder, how much does it cost for them to use this? And then what benefit do they get? And so as I understand the model that you have is the LGUs will pay to use this. And for the farmers, it's free. And so is it really free? Gilbert had mentioned the connectivity. Also, do you have the smartphone? Do you have the ability to take these things? And I don't know, the small farmers versus the big farmers. Second, the farmers have to think about it. If I report this, what will happen to me? Since they're reporting to the government, will the government then shut me down and burn my crop? Or
No,
what
sir.
else might happen? And so one of the things that I'm wondering about is the incentives, right? How much do I pay? How do I benefit? And what are my risks for participating? So right now I hear you saying that the LGU will pay and the region will benefit because the LGU paid. But when you think about each stakeholder, what does that look like?
All right, so we ran out of time, but just to be respectful of the process as well, any final words as a response to Judge George's question, team? So you'll have this last opportunity. Please go ahead.
According to what Sir said a while ago, it will be a farm remediation. So in LGU agriculture, we come up this, sir, free for farmers because they are the producers of the corn, and the LGU will validate the report of the farmers, and then if it is foul, or if it is the disease, they will map it, and also the agriculture will give feedback to the farmers, and same to the farmers, they will give feedback also to the agriculture if the said foul infestation validated. Then the PCIC will give money for this farmers.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Team ThisMap, and thank you so much, judges. Back to you, Pinky.
That was a great presentation, and I can see that our innovators are really, really nervous. That's natural. So just relax, have fun while you present, because you know your projects very well and by heart. I know you will enjoy it. So I really love that we have an entry focusing on the agricultural industry, just like one of our judges, Gilbert Kamasura, mentioned. that being the Philippines produces more agri-products. So thank you for your insightful questions, dear judges. Now may I call on our next presenter, the Vehicle AI Insurance Damage Evaluation Team. Vehicle AI Insurance Damage Evaluation Team, please turn on your cameras and your audio so that you can start your presentation. You have 20 minutes for your presentation. Vehicle AI Insurance. Are you there?
Yes,
Seems
sir.
like-
Just setting up lang po.
Okay, all right. So once again, you have 20 minutes for the presentation, and please be mindful during the Q&A if someone can, either one of you can answer right away just to save on time. So again, this is the second PMAP hackathon, and we hope that everyone is learning a lot from our students. And our students actually are having this experience that they have not ever experienced before.
Yeah, Pinky.
Well,
So
it's
a lot of heart, a lot of courage there, Pinky. So I'm sure
Yes.
that many of our audience members could really relate to this. So I guess they're ready. So turning it over to this new team. Go ahead, team.
Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Is my audio clear?
There is an echo, so probably you may have more than one device there. Kindly mute the other device.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. I am Brittany, and I am here to present to you the Secures Innovation. First, put yourself as a vehicle owner who has been involved in a collision or has been a victim of auto insurance fraud. Can you imagine the effect of this on your peace of mind? Yes, it is indeed stressful. And for that, our team is here to introduce to you automated vehicle damage evaluation. A quick vehicle damage evaluation to minimize insurance fraud to ensure peace of mind for vehicle owners. We are here to transform the vehicle insurance claiming process with our AI-driven solution. Our technology uses machine learning algorithms and computer vision to detect, evaluate, classify, and estimate costs of the external damage on vehicles. Our technology will address and give solutions to the problems related to vehicle insurance. First, there is a record of 1 billion pesos lost to auto insurance fraud yearly. Record also shows that 3 out of 5 damages are external. However, CTPL insurance does not cover vehicle damages, and how the country is rated poorly in government digitalization. Secure works by taking a photo of the damaged vehicle, then upload it to the system for processing and analysis using artificial intelligence. Then it maps and classifies the damage detected in the photo by referring to our custom trained datasets. Next, so this is our prototype. So upon a successful logging into the app, it will be directed to capturing images. The processing and analysis happen within the maximum of waiting time of 1 minute. The result page displays damage specifications with estimated cost and a button for creating a report. On the reports page, several details of the vehicle owner and the other parties are needed. After a successful report of the accident, the owner can choose how he or she will receive the payment from the other party. With this, we aim to give secure clients the following benefits. So why now? Why secure? Secure will contribute to economic mobility. Secure shall have accredited partners like LGUs, vehicle insurance firms, and accredited repair shops. And if we cut 10% of the 1 billion pesos fraud, there will be a gain of 100 million pesos of vehicle insurers, which can also help to minimize fraud claims. Our market potential, there are 143 charted cities in the country. Out of the 143 charted cities, our focus market is for 33 highly urbanized cities, and we'll aim to expand within 3 to 5 years. Below are our target partners, the accredited repair shops, insurance firms, and LGUs. Our competitive analysis, which compares Secure services to its competitors. It highlights the various features that Secure's offers, such as damage evaluation, repair cost calculation, quick assessment within 60 seconds with 95% accuracy, AI image processing, automated PNP blotter, and smart contract. Our business model, our plan for the profitability of Secure services includes 3 subscription plans yearly: silver, gold, platinum. These plans vary from the class of a vehicle with towing and emergency services. Next is affiliate marketing and an additional vehicle damage fee service for other vehicle insurance firms, like Prudential Guarantee Malayan Insurance. Secure is a startup composed of computer science students. I am Brittany, head operations, or the leader of the team, who is responsible for monitoring the daily activities of our team. Christian, our software developer, who is in charge of creating software solutions to scale and streamline Secure's processes. Stella is in charge of marketing strategies, including developing plans aimed at expanding the brand Secure. Rhea heads up media relations to strengthen relationships with media outlets. And Ryan focuses on human resources, who manage and build team members' engagement within the team. Our consultants, Mr. Fernando Haminola, Master of Science in Information Technology, works at Cagayan State University, carried at the College of Information and Computing Sciences as researcher and instructor for cybersecurity and climate change studies. He is also a researcher, instructor, and startup community coach with proven technical product development and management skills. He is also a Microtik certified routing engineer. He worked 16 years in the academe with 12 years industry experience from Fortune 500 companies like Philips and Sensormatic Corporation in Singapore and Tokyo.
Japan for climate control, energy management, and electronic security as product manager and technical support engineer for Asia Pacific region. And Mr. Emerito Lanyohan, Master of Science in Information Technology. He also works at Cagayan State University, Carig, at the College of Information and Computing Sciences. He specializes in blockchain, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. These are our financials or assumptions. On the left table is our cost, including the development of AI image recognition system, ICT hosting and data infrastructure, staff salary, equipment outlay, rent and utilities, and advertising. The revenue forecast of Secure, including the subscribers plan, the additional fee from insurance partners, and the affiliate marketing. Our return on investment is within 1.4 years based on the total cost over our total revenue. So what will we build in 5 years? With Secure, we want to transform the automotive repair industry by connecting customers with accredited repair shops. Our vision is to start with key stakeholders, including the Tuguegarao City in year 1 and expand our accredited repair shops in year 2. For the year 3, we will partner with more automotive companies, and by year 4, we will be expanding to ASEAN countries like Singapore and Indonesia, and the rest of ASEAN countries by year 5. Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you so much, Team Secure. I really appreciate the presentation, knowing that this is something new and integrating a lot of automation, security, insurance, repair for the overall benefit of progress, not only the Philippines, but possibly across the ASEAN countries as well. So calling on now all of members of the Team Secure to please turn on your videos, unmute yourselves, and be ready for the questions of our panel of judges. So may we invite again Mr. Gilbert, Mr. George, and Mr. Denchu to start the process of the question and answer portion. George, you are on mute.
So your question, it's an interesting idea, right? So you'll remove the middleman and you also make the whole process work faster. And that's interesting. This has been happening in the US with photo claims. I have not yet seen any companies in the US, though, that have an AI image recognition that can do the claim in a minute. Because so much happens that you can't see, right? Are the light bulbs broken inside the car? Did a hose come off? All of these things. It's really hard to see from outside. And so in the US, the photo is really about reducing fraud in a different way, that the only thing you can claim damage for is something that, if you got hit in the front of the car, you take pictures of the front of the car, you can't claim damage for the back of the car. And so that's what it's about. Now, I see that you're quoting 500,000 pesos to develop this 95% accurate AI image recognition that works in a minute. 500,000 pesos is about $9,000 as far as I can tell. Have you developed this algorithm? And do you think you can get it done that quickly, that fast, that cheaply?
Good morning, sir. I'm Christian, and as we are developing actually we are training data sets. As of the moment, we are training we are training our machine learning as of the moment, and approximately 6 months of training of the data modules for it to be accurate.
How is your accuracy right now?
as of the moment, sir, we will be able to have that 30% accuracy since
50%?
we are still lacking of the 30%, sir.
30%. And then where is your data coming from to train this?
We're gathering data through the internet, sir, and actual and physical capturing of data and images from damaged vehicles.
Okay. And then you would go from the imagery on the internet to actually testing it in the field somehow? You would then test it on real damage with real cars with your partners or something like that? Is that how you would do it?
Pardon, sir?
So, I imagine then you then have to take this out to the field with a real partner and look at real claims that are happening and test them. Is that the next stage of your testing? Okay,
Yes,
that's all right.
Mr.
I'm done. So
Can
I think
repeat
though, if you're going to do this, you should budget more time and more money to testing this algorithm. It's a very hard problem you're trying to solve. And so I would give yourself time and money to make that happen.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That will be around 1.5 million, sir.
Yeah, my guess is that in the United States, it would be closer to $15 million to do this.
Wow.
Now, things are cheaper in the Philippines, but this is a very, very hard problem.
You know now, George, why a lot of the projects are being outsourced. So if you know a lot of companies, bring them
Yeah.
to Manila. We have great resource here.
Yeah, I mean, it would certainly be cheaper there. The challenge is that this needs to be accurate, right? Because this is a legal contract, and so you need to test this very, very well. So just plan for that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Following questions from the other judges, please.
I'll go next. I'm mindful of questions I have to throw, so I have Denshu also to ask. Aviation. Let's go to aviation. What was the reason why you were looking at this? And could you again correlate this? I know this is an HR hackathon, so how do you correlate this to HR?
Actually, sir, it was an indirect connection since we're focusing on the employees itself. Since most of the employees were buying their car or owning their own car, we're focusing on their social needs, or most specifically in their emotional aspects. So in this case, we are trying to minimize the errors on those damaged cars, and by this we are digitizing the reporting actually of those accidents, and of course we are trying to increase the accuracy of it, that they may be able, or that there will be having our employees will be having a peace of mind.
Thank you for taking that. You were referring to employees, but I hope you would have done a better research in terms of how many of the population of the workforce would really have vehicles, number one, so that you become more relevant and that you see the necessity for this to be appreciated by the greater workforce. Because if in the talent summit and Dole would report that actually we have an issue pertaining to keeping cars, and knowing that most of the cars right now are available via either your Uber or Grab or other AI driven app cars. I'm not sure whether you see the relevance of your app to the workforce. That's it. Thank you.
Could I add something in there? What I wonder about is you may actually be removing jobs because you don't need as many people to do the assessment anymore. So you could compare that and add that to your thinking as you think about the HR implications.
Or how do they transform, right, George?
Right.
How do you transform those people that are doing that?
Good
Because
question.
what worries most of us is not about your application. It's about who knows how to use your application versus those who doesn't know at all a digital platform.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thanks, George. Thanks, Gilbert. My question is really anchored on the technical challenges that was raised earlier, but I want to go beyond that and really look at the whole ecosystem, because for this to work, right, you need to have an ecosystem that is composed of the repair shops, but also the insurance companies, maybe the car dealerships, maybe companies who are providing car benefits to their employees, etc. So there's a whole ecosystem involved in here. And my question is, how do you get to a single standard that would be acceptable, say, to the insurance companies? So in my mind, I have the long-standing problem that we have in the U.S. healthcare industry around a single set of medical records. It's been a perpetual problem that we have not been able to solve for the longest time. And that problem is portable to other industries as well. And in the insurance industry, right, what would make insurance company one accept it in the same manner that it's being accepted by insurance company two, etc. And then add to that, there's the insurance regulator as well, of the country. So how do we solve for that? Now, how do we get to a gold standard? How do we get to a single standard that everyone can agree on?
Sir. We are developing and actually a platform for both the users and the insurance companies as well, and us, especially our partner agencies. So being the center of it all would make us the set of standards. So basically, we are collaborating with these organizations for us to come up with or meet with this set of standards of theirs. So right now, our cars actually have insurances, and these insurances is comes from the PNPs, LGUs, and other companies, of course, of this car or vehicles. So and to meet with those things, being the platform for them to be able, like to be able to bridge the gaps between them, and that we can be able to have a common standard as well.
Yeah, I think engaging key stakeholders earlier on as part of your training of the AI will be quite important. So partnerships with the highway patrol group, the local police stations, the dealerships and the insurance companies, the CASA records, which would have pictures and then details of costs related to those pictures, will just help enhance the algorithm that you guys will create. And by engaging with these stakeholders earlier on, adoption might be faster. So you may want to think about that as well.
Yes, sir. As of the moment, we are connecting, or we are communicating with this PNP and the LGU, or the local government unit of the Philippines, for us to be able to gather some data, of course, of them, and that our app will provide accurate information as well.
Lovely, thank you.
All right. Any other question coming from the Board of Judges? I think we're good. Thank you so much, Team Secure, and thank you so much, judges. So every time we have that conversation, that question and answer portion, there are lots of layers of questions that will open up new layers of questions again, and a lot of insight. So I hope Team Secure learned a lot from that session as well. So good luck to you. And with that, let us now move forward with our final presenter. May I now call on Team Sundo to make your final pitch? And I hope we don't need to sundo you for this presentation. Please get ready. Team Sundo, as soon as you're ready, please go ahead. All right, can any member try to speak, so we'll know whether we have an audio of you. Or can you give us a thumbs up sign if you are at all connected?
I hope they're not nervous, Eric.
I'm sure they are, but of course, it's not about nervousness because everyone gets nervous, right, Pinky? It's all about conquering your nerves so that you can impact the world, right?
Correct. I like that.
All right, I think they're getting ready now. So I'm seeing their presentation. So Team Sundo, if this is your first slide, please take it away. All right. So if you are speaking, we cannot hear you as of this point. Team Sundo, we are seeing your slide, but you're not audible as of this moment.
Good morning, sir. Am I
Oh,
audible?
there you go. All right. Take it away.
So good morning, everyone. We are Sundo, and we will present our innovation. So acquiring transportation for people and goods can be challenging during rush hour and critical hours. So operators face stiff competition in multimodal transport. So introducing Sundo, simplifying logistics in the digital age. Our cargo and passenger reservation app, we streamline the usual process of obtaining transportation with our user-friendly app. We offer real-time tracking and reliable service for cargo and passenger. So we identify some of the problems in logistics. So firstly, each logistic costs 25% more expensive among all ASEAN. And Manila traffic resulting a loss of up to 1,000 hours of productivity per hour per year. And an estimated of 6 billion economic loss by 2030. Air pollution with 9 out of 10 urban population exposed to 7 times WHO hazard limits. So these problems have significant implication for businesses and the country's overall economic development, as they increase the cost of doing business, reduce productivity, and harm the environment and public health. So addressing these challenges will require a multi-phase approach that involves improving infrastructures, reducing traffic congestion, enhancing logistic efficiency and innovation, and promoting sustainable that prioritize environmental and social responsibility. Offer two services, the passenger booking and cargo booking.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience, sir.
We lost your presentation deck. Did you pull out your deck? Thank you.
So here we offer two services, the passenger booking and cargo booking. And so you can select the origin and the destination. You can choose the type of vehicle to be used. You can track your routes and give feedback to the quality of the service. So on the cargo booking, you can choose what type of cargo to be shipped. You can select type of vehicle, the pickup location and the drop-off location. You can also select the desired payment method, and you can track the movement of your cargo. So when the cargo has been delivered, the customers would give feedback to the quality of the service. So here is the features of the app. Contains blockchain to record transactions securely, using AI to find the best routes via Google Maps navigation, and vehicle ID for various vehicle like motorcycle, tricycle, taxi, and van or truck. And here we have payment system for credit, debit, and cash. The passenger and sender driver can evaluate the quality of the service. So cargo services, we offer inbound and last mile cargo. So in inbound cargo, these are coming from the ports and delivered to various destinations. And last mile cargo is from businesses, agencies, and home, and delivered to various destinations. So why now? Convenience of clients via ICT. Clients can easily book and track their reservation using their smartphones. Transport modernization uses modern technology like AI and blockchain to optimize the routes and improve the overall efficiency of the system. So profitability of transport operators. This will minimize fuel and operating costs while maximize their earnings. Minimize idle time of transport operators, reducing the amount time spent waiting for client at transport terminals. Market potential. There are 143 cities in the Philippines. We start with, we get 50% of the TAM, or the total available market for the sustainable available market. So out of that, we focus on the 33 highly urbanized cities as serviceable obtainable market. And below are the people and cargo transport partners from large containers, truckers to last mile vehicle like tricycles. And we also have existing partners in the city of Tuguegarao. So competition, Sundo differentiates itself as one brand for passenger and cargo. On the passenger side, we use multiple vehicle giving customers flexibility and profit sharing with LGU to support the local communities. In-app tipping as a way of appreciation to drivers. On cargo side, we transport any type of cargo, profit sharing with the LGU, and an inbound cargo coming from the ports. So these are the sources of revenue for cargo. Commission on booking, and it depends on the type of cargo and the type of vehicle. Promotion affiliate marketing fee of up to 100,000 per content feature. And cargo insurance to have peace of mind knowing that their goods are protected. On the passenger, we can also get revenue through commissions on bookings. Each vehicle have a different transaction fees. Promotion affiliate marketing fee up to 100,000 per content feature. Life insurance for long distance travel per passenger, and rush hour rate of 50-70 pesos. So our team composed of me, Jodel Mar Beltran, as the head of the operations, responsible for the overall management and coordination of the cargo and passenger mobile apps. Head of Melissa Joyce also the head of passenger services, responsible for the passenger experience on the mobile apps. Kaysa Dainara Batuwing, head of freight, responsible for freight experience on the mobile apps. And EJ Idulan, head of marketing, responsible for marketing strategy and execution of the cargo and passenger mobile apps. Aldrey Nicole Frase, our head of media relations, responsible for managing the public image of cargo and passenger mobile apps. And our consultants, Fernando Haminal Jr., He's an experienced researcher, instructor, and startup community coach with a Master's of Science in Information Technology and Bachelor's of Electronics and Communication Engineering. He specializes in cybersecurity and climate change. He studies and has been working at Cagayan State University since 2016 to 2006. Additionally, he has 12 years of industry experience working for Fortune 500 companies such as Philippines and Sensormatic Corporation in Singapore and Tokyo. Fernando's technical product development management and research skills make him valuable consultant, and he is also a Microtik certified routing engineer. Emerito Lanohan is an assistant professor 3 and the head of software development. With a master's degree in information technology, he is responsible for overseeing the development of and maintenance of software applications, ensuring the projects and delivered on time within budget. We have conducted financial analysis, a total cost of 46,100,000 for 3 years. This includes transport and navigation system, ICT hosting, salary of 10 staff, equipment outlay, and advertising costs. On cargo, we assume that we get a total revenue of 19,326,000. Passenger, a total revenue of 4,353,000. Our return of investment is expected within 1.4 years. And our vision is to expand the reach of our organization services to more cities in the Philippines. So by the we aim to establish Tuguegarao City as an early adopter of our services and showcasing the benefits of our 25 plus members. 2026, we aim to serve 33 highly urbanized cities, addressing their diverse needs and challenges.
Okay, I think I saw a thank you slide. So I guess that's about it. I think they have challenges as well in their connection. Thank you, Team Sundo, for making your final pitch. May we call on our judges to raise questions or innovators?
Hello. Hello to the Team Sundo. Not sure if George have been oriented what Sundo means. George, you're
I
familiar
haven't.
with
No. What does Sundo mean?
it? What's it? It's like
Fetch.
fetch to fetch
Oh,
and to
nice.
pick.
It's a good
Yeah.
name then. Yeah.
So very, very logistics. But my question to the team, first in your ideation, your brainstorming and your prototyping, we all know that there are already applications. I'm not sure if they're here. We're the only three I'm seeing on screen. Are you here, Team Sundo?
May
Can
I
we
please
sundo to you?
ask Team Sundo to please open their cameras?
I'm not sure if I'm asking
Yes.
question and they're online. But before that, I think we really George, you see here, like we have innovation, but our internet connectivity is still an issue.
Yes.
I don't
That's
know, but
fixable. Yeah.
just really appreciating the students coming out and all those pitching in that I seem to see you struggling with your connectivity. So there is no innovation when your internet connections are all also being challenged. So anyway, hello, Jodel Mar, right? Is that correct? Am I correct? And the team of Team Sundo. So in your ideation and creation, managing of your brainstorming, and the prototyping. We all know that there's Grab, there's Uber, there are other apps that are available. I was trying to look at your competitive advantage, right? And one thing that struck me was your profit sharing to the LGU. Are we trying to consider to sell the app or to get vehicles or transportation from the LGU? Again, I have nothing against our government, especially on the LGU, but I've been always seeing in the three pitches that government has been one of the stakeholder, and the profit share for me does not necessarily sound favorable in a country where transparency is still an issue. I would like to understand what makes this unique solution that you're trying to bring to the table or to the community. Number one. Number two, why are we too much involving, especially so looking at profit share? Why not tap, say, an angel investor? Like, I may be interested, but maybe just look at that more to see how is this more relevant and getting more your stakeholder. Just give me just clarify that one, please.
Team Sundo.
It is okay to
Say that again.
it is okay to the other stakeholders like private, but
So
in LG
why is there a profit share for your government? Can you explain
these
or
are
elaborate more?
profit sharing with the LGU is this will help the community. So we will franchise from the LGU. We get 5%.
I'm losing Joe Delmar. But anyway, where I'm coming from as well is, the second point I was trying to drive, if you're back, is also, trying to again correlate this to the greater workforce. I'm an HR practitioner. I am up for solutioning in advancing HR using leveraging and technology. How do you see this? I did not see you highlight actually. The reason why I also got you from the many entries that came in is because I feel there is relevance to what you're trying to address, which is trying to simplify the logistics aspect and addressing the issue on traffic. But I did not see that highlighted in your deck or presentation, how people will benefit from it. That's just a comment. But if you may just go back to the government, I'm not too clear with what you're saying.
So the
Team
question
Sundo
is, why is there a profit sharing for the
for the
government?
government, yeah.
Yes. Jodelmar.
This will minimize time for the logistics, sir. If we
What do you mean?
can last mile deliver, sir. Last mile deliver, sir.
Okay,
Insect.
I'll take that an answer. I'll pass on to you, George. I'm not clear with that. Just want to register. That's a gray area for me, and I wanted clarity on that aspect being, having to have a stakeholders and government as it is. George or Denchu.
Yeah, Denshu, you want to go now?
Sure, can do that. And in my university days, I used to visit Tuguegarao, and there used to be a lot of horse-drawn kalesas back then in that city. And it's so good that we're now talking about an app. So one question that I have, and somehow tied to what Gilbert mentioned earlier, is really around customer acquisition. So what is the approach? What is the strategy that you have in mind to convince first off drivers and operators to switch to Sundok, and then number two, the broader market, the end users to switch to your app?
Jodelmar. Would you like to address that? Or maybe you have some of the team members help you out.
Can you guys hear us? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Denshu, we can hear you.
Lovely.
We know that you have challenges in your internet connection. It's okay to have your video off. We can hear you actually. Just put yourself on unmute now, and then you can start speaking. Anyone from the team Sundo? May I ask our judge to please repeat the question?
Sure. Really keen to understand, right? How do we convince partner drivers, partner operators to switch to Sundo? And then number two, the end users to switch to the app.
Okay, I have a.
They're
They're deliberating.
Local the first
Go
is
ahead.
local touch serve. So
Sige, go ahead, please.
Can hear a lot of people wanted to answer, but they're not sure who among them will say so.
Yes, they are.
Don't be nervous, Suting Sundo. Don't be nervous. You're the last, group to pitch. So it's your turn. You have 8 minutes.
Yes, the question is pretty much very simple. You have this app, and there are existing apps now, probably. And why? How can your partner drivers and operators, or how can you convince them to switch to Sundo? Is that right, Judge Decino?
Yes, thank you. Starting with that, and then obviously the user base.
And the users, of course.
Yeah.
Team Sundo. Sinusundo ka na po namin. We're picking you up.
I didn't know that that joke would actually come into reality later. So,
Picked it up from Eric.
Hello po. I'm sorry for the inconvenience po. I'm having a trouble at my end here. First is local touch po. And for the local economy per city or town, and it has a global ports to local po.
So when you
And we
say
have one
local, yeah, when you say local, you're trying to position this as something of our own, and therefore don't support a Singapore-based or a Malaysia-based app. This one is our own. Let's do this and try to convince the partner operators accordingly.
Maybe we can go back to that question, Judge Decino, and probably go to Judge George for your question, and then go back. Probably they're still discussing or discerning what answer they would like to give the judges. All right.
I think this is, both of these incentive kind of questions are very important, right? So this is a network effect model. The more drivers you have, the more customers you will have, and the more customers you have, the more drivers you have. And so both the questions that both of the other judges asked are very, very important. To how do you get people to join, and where are you going to get the money to buy those customers and to buy those drivers, right? So that's one question that the other two judges asked. I'd like to just suggest two things and then ask one other question. You mentioned that you're going to use blockchain and you're going to use AI. I don't think you need those. They are complicated, they are new, they're expensive. But Grab certainly works totally fine without blockchain or without AI. So you probably don't need the risk of doing those fancy technologies when you can do it with less fancy technologies. That's one suggestion. Another thing is that it's interesting, you have two models. You have a model for cargo and you have a model for people. And the model for people, as far as I could tell, looks exactly like the model for Uber and Grab and a bunch of others. So you're about to go after very large, very well-funded companies and try to do the same thing that they are doing. That doesn't sound like it sounds like a high-risk approach. On the cargo side, on the other hand, it's a very different kind of customer. It's a business customer. You can sell to them more easily. You can show value to them more easily. And that is differentiated. So I would suggest out of your two models, focus on the cargo, because then you don't have to get Grab and Uber so upset at you so quickly, and you might be able to grow. So those are just two suggestions for you. My question is kind of related to, I think, what the other judges were saying too. And in fact, Gilbert said it directly. It's going to cost a lot of money to grow this network. Who else can grow this network more quickly? And my guess is the companies that already have this network can do it faster and cheaper than you can do it. So how, let's say that you're successful, then how will you stop Uber and Grab from doing exactly the same thing? That's my question to you.
Now that's another question that they they might need time deliberating. You have 3 minutes left, Team Sundo. So you have now.
We'll start with advertising and then get LGUT and PS franchise.
And will that prevent the other competitors from
With the
copying the
PUV
model?
tricycles.
Sorry, I did not hear that. Can you say it again? I did not hear your second sentence.
We'll start with advertising and then get the LGUT and VS franchise like PUV tricycles. And yes, that.
Okay. And if you use that model, how will you prevent Grab or Uber from doing exactly the same thing? Because they already have the drivers.
We cannot stop them, but we will coexist with them.
Are you good, Judge George?
Sure.
Okay, and now going back to Judge Denchu's question, how will you convince partner drivers and operators and eventually users to switch to Sundo? Melissa, maybe you want to answer that.
We have our app's unique features we have our app's unique features like negotiating the price of the transportation if you don't want the fixed price.
Judge Denchu, do you have a follow-up question?
So basically, we're saying, unlike Uber or unlike Grab, where you have a fixed price based on algorithm, time of the day, destination, etc., supply and demand, your app will have an additional feature that will allow for haggling between the driver and the customer, and that is one special feature that can potentially convince maybe end users to switch your app, because here they have some option and some flexibility as compared to the other apps where it's 100% algorithm driven. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
Okay, okay, salamat. And then for drivers themselves, right? This is actually that feature which is helpful for customers and users might actually be detrimental to the drivers because they'd rather just be driving instead of entertaining negotiation questions, no, from the users. So how do we convince them to switch to Sundo?
We also have insurance for the drivers and for the passengers, sir.
So insurance features. Okay, and I today I don't know if
And
Grab
it
or-
is a driver-centric business, sir.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, time is up, and thank you so much. Eric, back to you.
So Pinky, thank you so much. And thank you so much, judges and press centers. So I don't know about you, Pinky, but did it raise more question or did it settle the questions? So what are your thoughts? Because essentially, listening to them is really a learning experience. But after learning, all of a sudden, there are more questions at the back of your head. So I'm just wondering, indeed, how do we progress? Because as we progress, I guess there are a lot of more challenges that we need to assess and we need to address as well. So I guess, that is a real learning experience for me and for the audience as well. And I'm sure for you, Pinky, right?
Yes, definitely. And it's pretty much exciting actually because this is a driver-centric business and focuses on tricycle drivers, which are so many, especially in the provinces or the barrios. I think that is where they are coming from.
Right. So with that note, I don't know again. So I bet everyone has come to a point of either increasing their nerves or settling their nerves. I don't know. It depends really on where they think they are. But at this point, we will have to request our judges. So thank you so much, judges, to do the deliberation of the score. So the judges will be moved to a breakout room, Pinky, and this will be facilitated by our PMAP Hackathon program chairperson, none other than Veron Estrella. So, however, the innovators and the audience will remain in this room together with us, Pinky, as the judges deliberate with our chairperson. And,
Yes,
and
but
that will
before
be
that-
our setup. Yep.
Before that, Eric, I think we need to give the certificates of
Oh, yes, for
recognition
sure.
to our innovators while the judges are still with us.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's do that, Pinky.
Okay, so let's wait for the certificates to be flashed. So each one of them will be given a certificate of participation. First off, it's Team Dismap. In recognition of your invaluable contribution as a presenter in the second Innovation Hackathon of the People Management Association of the Philippines, or PMAP, with the theme Breakthroughs in EX through Agility and Innovation, held on April 28, 2023, signed President Maria Elizabeth D. Nasol, DPM, Ms. Alma Albano, Member, Board of Trustees, Ms. Jesusa Reyes, PhD, Chairperson for the Research Committee, and Ms. Veronica Estrella, the Program Chairperson for the second Innovation Hackathon. Congratulations, Team Dismap.
Congratulations, Team Dismap.
And the same goes to Team Secure. Congratulations, Team Secure.
Congratulations, Team Secure.
And lastly, to Team Sundo, thank you, and congratulations for participating on the second PMAP Hackathon.
There it goes. So Pinky, I was so excited earlier on that I wanted it to, just proceed. So I guess now is the time for the judges to have their deliberation and for us to stay in this room together with our innovators so that we can interact with our audience. I'm sure, Pinky, our judges had the time to ask the questions to our innovators. I guess this is the time for the two of us and also for our audience to ask questions to our innovators, right?
Yes, we can also, but before that, as we stay in the plenary room, our audience will also get the chance to, I would rather check first where our attendees learned about this hackathon.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
please type in the chat box as to where you heard about this hackathon? Perhaps you learned about this event through PMAP's Facebook post, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, email blast. Can you please let me see. Let's check the chat box.
So I'm putting my first entry there. I heard it from a friend. So part of the circle.
Yeah, and Camille says their company is a member of PMAP and they got an invitation. Probably this is via PMAP.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. PMAP internal
Updates.
Yes. All right. Friend in PMAP.
Also powerful friends of network, right? So important to have a very strong network to
Correct.
get updates, right?
And by the way, for those who have not liked and followed our Facebook page, please do. And we also do have a PMAP community on Viber. We're also on LinkedIn, YouTube, I think all the social media platforms, right, Eric?
That's right, Pinky. And you know what, Pinky? If you're not hearing anything, it's already a sin, because if you're not connected, then practically you're just isolated and you're not part of the whole social scheme of things right now.
Correct. And yeah, maybe there are still people who do not have Facebook, right? But you can create a Facebook just to use Messenger, because Messenger is
That's
also
true.
one type of instant messaging that is really really fast, really instant. All right.
That is true. But as you know, Pinky, as we're also experiencing and listening to our presenters, we all know that there is still an opportunity to really to democratize connectivity even in the Philippines right now.
And I think text messaging is also even evolving into instant messaging, because
Messages, yes, that's right. That is database.
yeah, Android is now like going towards what iPhone users have, because they do have this chat if you iPhone to iPhone, and then now they have Android to Android, but I think it's only up Samsung to Samsung for now. But eventually
For now.
that will reach the Android community and they will have one instant messaging as well. I wonder what our telecoms would feel, because they don't lose that 1 peso.
There is some greetings from Cagayan State University from Mr. Haminola. So thank you so much, Mr. Haminola. I'm sure that you are trying to cope with a very humid and hot weather right now in Tuguegarao.
Thank you so much for joining. And by the way, you can give a shout out to your companies or to a friend or whoever who is in this is in attendance today. So shout out to your companies. We have 40 people here, so probably you might want to give a shout out to your own company. Anyone? Come on, guys.
So I did the first one. So shout out to my company, Doxa Talent. So
of course,
everyone from Doxa Talent. So I'm happy that you are on board and hope you're listening and learning a lot as well.
From Foundever, previously known as Cytel.
Oh, wow. Hello, Cytel. Hello, Foundever.
Hello. Thank you for joining.
So even in the name, there is a bit of transformation, reinvention happening, Pinky, right?
Yes. I didn't know that they have a different name now. Foundever.
So now we know, and thanks to the chat. Thanks, Camille, for that.
All right. Who else? Great to be here. Great to have you. Thank you so much, Camille.
Happy for you to be here.
Sykes and Cycle are now Foundever.
Oh, wow.
Merger. Now we know.
A merger. All right. Where else can you hear this from? Okay, from Chonghua Hospital. Healthcare business.
Glad to hear from you. Thank you for joining. O, Cebuya na.
All right. And you know what, Pinky, since we're touching on agribusiness, we're touching on healthcare, we're starting to see how important these industries are, especially for the Philippines, right?
So, yes, and not only that, I came from Aeon, so it's really, really a challenge for anyone, for that matter, who have cars, to have claims, especially when they have they encounter an accident on the road. So the
Right.
turnaround time of our traffic enforcers.
Oh
And
my. So don't think about that because it starts with a simple car accident and it builds up by inconveniencing a lot more
a lot
traffic
more.
and a lot more cars, the time spent there, the arguments, the negotiations, the follow-ups. Oh no. So definitely. And talking about cars, we're also seeing hello from Philippine Iron and Marine
Marine
Workers.
Works. Hi, Cheche Ramos, Carlos. Hello, thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining.
You know what, Eddie? One of the
a lot of the diversity of the PMAP members here, right? So from healthcare, for BPO, from manufacturing, mining, and healthcare. So you see, it's great to be a part of PMAP, Pinky.
Yes, and while listening to our innovators, I'm just hoping and praying that one of the entries would be fascinating enough to any of our member companies or the companies that have joined us, and they would probably finance it, right? So
As well, yeah, we don't know because there are angel investors there that, of course, angel investors being who they are very silent, just observant, and really supportive of things that would really create a difference in the world. So, some of the best innovations that have happened in the world are actually funded by angel investors, Pinky. So we're just crossing our fingers that some of our viewers probably or someone that might have heard about this program would be keen enough to look into this, explore a bit more, and see whether they can support in one way or another.
correct. And I salute the innovators, especially the students. It's even very what do you call this, nerve-wracking in front of your teachers and your peers. So much more with this offense.
I couldn't agree more. So you know what? When I was really just in high school, probably I was really sort of very nervous just presenting in front of the class or doing declamation. And here you go. It's not just something that you will be memorizing. It's something that you would have to be defending, Pinky.
Yes.
So and you don't know what kind of questions will be thrown at you, and you just have to be very creative, and you just really have to have that level of mastery about your innovation.
Correct. And you need to be passionate about your project. Otherwise, you will end up with, nothing. I would say nothing because you would be speechless. Not unless it's really nerve-wracking that you are already in shock. Hello from CSU Fernando Haminola. Oh, Mr. Haminola, angel investors and seed funding for national development. Indeed.
There you go. So we very, very much welcome that. Anything for national development, for people experience improvement for sure. So that's why we are having this hackathon, Pinky. It's really all about, at the end of the day, it's all about people. And we want the people to live lives that is worthy to be lived, right? And the experience that they have on a day-to-day basis. So from worms, vehicles, to insurances and whatnot, all of these, at the end of the day, will filter down to people and how they would impact their lives on a day-to-day basis.
Going back to angel investors, that is why the pitch was very, very important, because that is where the investors would be listening. I'm not sure. There's a show on pitching, right? I forgot the name of it. Was it Fish Tank or something? So it's something that may start small, and maybe with the comments of our judges, they would be able to make some changes or a little tweaking and finally find an investor for this. Shark
Tank, right? And maybe it was Shark Tank because really it's a very vicious kind of interaction there. So it's they're trying to grapple with a very limited resource, and that's why you have to be vicious enough to be able to grab that opportunity.
And you know what, Eric? These are even students. How much more if we have entries coming from the industry, right? From individuals.
Sure, for sure. Because it's just like what Judge George mentioned, you will be able to really solve a problem if you are a part of it and if you are at the center of it, because you really know the real problem and you have the heart to solve it, right, Pinky?
Yes.
So if you've been already working and lots of experience and experiencing all of these issues, I'm sure you will have that passion to really solve that issue or problem, and you will have the first-hand ideas on how to solve them because you have a direct experience.
Yeah, and going back to Team Sundo, they even involved the government in profit sharing. My guess is that they wanted to incentivize, because the answer to the question of one of the judges is, they want the results faster. So it's faster if they are incentivized. Probably that's why they are giving a certain percentage to the LGUs.
Right, that's true. And Pinky, there's also some wisdom there, but we just have to do it properly, because as a stakeholder, the government could also be a very vital, even transformational stakeholder for you if you connect with the right people in the government with the right perspective. Because if we do things right, Pinky, I think by involving the government with its network, with its resources, with its potential way of changing the lives of the communities that they have jurisdiction on, I think it's really vital that we, interact with them, involve them, make them part of the solutioning, because that's what happened in very progressive organizations, like for example in Singapore. In Singapore, the government is always there to support, to also change the environment, and maybe because Singapore is the way it is because of the government that they have had, right? So hopefully, it's crossing our fingers that our government will also learn and transform themselves so that it will really benefit the Filipinos at the grassroots.
Well, if our government will really get involved in projects like this, or innovative
For sure.
like this, they don't have, one of the questions was, how will you convince partner drivers and operators and eventually users to switch to Sundo? So if the government is pushing for this, then probably Grab, watch out.
That's true. That's true. So for example, also in Malaysia and Indonesia, probably, they are starting really to have and adopt more what is locally produced and locally driven. I know that, Pink, I don't know, maybe you're already, alive and very conscious during that time, but there was a drive one time in the Philippine history to really buy Pinoy and buy Filipino, for example.
Yes.
And if you come to think of it, it would really drive wonders if you really do. But now the sort of the challenge for our Filipino producers is really to increase and enhance the quality of their products, right? So
Yes.
that they would continuously be a value cycle where people will buy, they will improve their product, and again, people will again be induced to buy. So it can go, go on in that value cycle, so to speak.
Yeah, and I think we are already on the right track, because not only the government, Dole, for example, is already focusing on micro enterprise businesses. Our Chamber of Commerce have members that are part of those SMEs. So it's
That's right.
something that I think we need right now. And because of the gig economy, our young ones are not into employment, so to speak, anymore, because they want to work for themselves. Gone are the times during our generation, although we are millennials, no? We are millennials. Gone are the times that we just want to have an 8 to 5 job and stay there for 25 or so years. Now they just want to stay a couple of years for experience, know the AI probably, and create their own. There are so many kids out there who are very young who are already CEOs of their own company. That's very amazing.
That's amazing, very amazing indeed. And Pinky, I'm seeing more and more because I'm part. So Doxa Talent is part of the EO Entrepreneurs Organization. And there are not your conglomerates type of organization or business. There are the small and medium scale businesses that would really, as you know, could really reach out to the grassroots more because people are there and they are being employed by these kinds of SMEs, not the Ayalas, not the, but no, you know,
Yes.
no prejudice against the conglomerates, but definitely they are changing the lives of people more closely because they're closer to the grassroots.
Yes, and the raw materials that they are using, let's say, for example, I see a lot of coffee shops popping out, and they are using their own homegrown coffee. See how how it's like, and they're pretty much proud about this because even though they have not they don't have that professional certificate of being a barista, they can always go to TESDA to get that certification. They don't have to have a 4-year bachelor's course or culinary arts graduate. They just have to tap with TESDA to do this.
And that is the new trend actually, is really the skill. Right now, it's not necessarily, you know, your professional white collar job. The world is really asking for skilled resources. And you know what, Pinky? Currently, skill is the modern resource, is a modern currency. And that's why you mentioned Tesla. It's very important that we really fund Tesla because it really brings about a lot of skilling in our population. So we are transitioning right now. There's a lot of unemployment, but if you could really just, you know, if our people could just learn new skill, adopt new possibilities, licenses, then we can really address the unemployment that is currently even increasing in the last few months, Pinky.
Yes, and also one more thing. Our K-12 graduates are having a hard time actually looking for jobs. I saw it on the news a couple of days ago. So what seems to be what seems to be the challenge of our K-12 graduates? So it's probably TESDA could also come in and um, put more value on the additional 2 years or technical course that they have chosen after high school. So although PMAP or other organizations like PMAP help them with job fairs, but it would be good if they would help themselves reskill, retool themselves so that they would be able to be more competitive.
But you know, Pinky, it's good that our theme this year is really all about renewal, reconnecting, and restarting. It gives us a good consciousness that hey, there are things that we really need to do, renew, and change. And that's the only thing that will make us more transformative in the future. It's great that PMAP is already doing this, but I guess this theme is really more inclusive, should be inclusive because, you know, as you mentioned, Tesla could do this, the government can do this, even, you know, all of the schools can do this. There's a lot of consciousness for us to really to adopt that kind of transformational thinking and also stop thinking that we are good enough and we just want to stay in the status quo. Because what is excellent right now might not be excellent tomorrow and next week. Right? It's a constant renewal of your skills and your capabilities and of your perspective. So that gives us, you know, in a making sure that we're always on our toes, trying to see what's out there, what new things to learn. And right now, last week, Pinky, I learned a lot of new things only because I wasn't following some things. But it's just marvelous for me to see some of these things happening and me understanding new applications. So there's a new app that would actually try to void out some of your apps that are interfering with your work. So you just have to set it up on a certain schedule. For example, if your busy time is about 8 to 12, that app, you just have to program it and that app would actually block all of the activities in your phone between 8 to 12 so that you can only be disturbed by 12 noon, which is basically your lunchtime. See? So that's another way of productivity, re-engineering everything that we're supposed to do, filling up our phones with new apps. But at the end of the day, we might probably just need less of those things.
Yes, and let's not forget lesser screen time and more social time face to face because we're going to be so dull that even on, you know, on a family day when all of you on a Sunday you're seated on the living room and everybody's on their phone. So it's so sad to see a family like that. So
You're right. And you know, there are a lot of paradoxes and irony right now. So for example, right, they say that people who are most productive are the people who are resting and sleeping more, right? So sometimes in our traditional mindset, we would think that those people are more productive are the people who are always doing overtime, the people are always, you know, eating up their weekend just to do extra work. But you know, this long-term study, Pinky, and even Harvard Business School would tell you that in fact those people who are actually getting more promotion, getting more increases, and getting more bonuses are the people actually use up their leaves, sleep well
Yes.
at night,
Work-life balance.
and that's another incentive for us to really take care of ourselves. And because
Yeah.
we can be more productive by actually resting and sleeping better.
Because if you're putting up more hours in your work, then you're not working smart, right?
You are, you are. You're not working smart. That is right.
As much as we want to chat with all of you, we want to give some airtime to our partner for today, OC Tanner. So we will take a little break and then we will be showing you some videos of our sponsor.
All right, we'll be right back. Thanks,
We'll be
Pinky.
right back.
All right, welcome back. So we are getting close and we're almost there, Pinky. Are you excited?
Very,
I
very.
am. I'm getting more and more excited as we reach the culminating point of our program. But before that, before we get to that, let us recognize our sponsor for making this hackathon a successful one. So thank you so much, OC Tanner. Thank you for the support, for the partnership, and for believing in ideation and the Filipino talent.
Thank you, Eric, and thank you so much to our sponsor. May we also call on each of our judges to give their message. Chief Talent Officer and CEO of PM Consulting, Mr. Gilbert Kamasura, Ernst & Young Global Delivery Services Global Talent Shared Services Leader, Mr. Denchu Jose Decino, and Senior Lecturer in Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Sloan School of Management, and founder of the Global Opportunity Initiative, Dr. George Westerman.
And for sure, Pinky, we would also like to express our greatest thanks to our judges for sharing their time and expertise. So, you know, Pinky, the road to the final pitch was not an easy one, right? Even in the scoring, for sure, we witnessed to that. Our judges took time in assessing the submissions of the innovators from the pre-selection stage down to the final pitch. So to our judges again, our heartfelt thanks for your time and for your dedication. And with that, there is a token of certificate that will flash on the screen, and I would have the opportunity to read it out loud. So this is the certification of appreciation, and the certificate is presented to Mr. Engelbert Kamasura, FPM, in recognition of his invaluable contribution as a judge in the second Innovation Hackathon of the People Management Association of the Philippines, or PMAP, with the theme of Breakthroughs in Employee Experience Through Agility and Innovation, held today on April 28, 2023. Signed by our President, Maria Elizabeth Dinasol, PPM, and member of the Board of Trustees, Ms. Alma Albano, and the chairperson for this research committee, Ms. Jesusa Reyes, PhD. And last but not the least, Ms. Veron Estrella, the program chairperson for the second Innovation Hackathon. Thank you so much, Gilbert. Same goes to our next judge, who is Mr. Denchu Jose Decino. And last but not least, Mr. George Westerman. We really appreciate all of the hard work, all of the expertise, all of the intelligence that we saw, and the wisdom even during the question and answer portion. Now, this is the most awaited part of our program, the announcement of the winners. So drum rolls, please, of the PMAP second Innovation Hackathon. So now, for this announcement, may we call on the chairperson of the Board of Judges, Mr. Gilbert Kamasura, a friend of the industry, to announce the winner. Gilbert.
Thank you, Eric, and congratulations to you and rest of the team. I think before we even make the announcement, I would like to have, of course, to thank PIMA, but let me call first, Judge Denchu, as well as Dr. George, to impart, some great learnings and inspiration. Indeed, such a nice journey, especially for those who went through all of this exercise. Let me, ask Denchu first to share your thoughts, insights, and let's inspire more people to actually participate in hackathon like this.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Gilbert. It really has been an honor to be working with this group over the past few weeks as we go through the second Innovation Hackathon. So my role in EY is I lead our global talent shared services team. So we have over 2,000 people in the US, UK, India, China, Poland, and here in the Philippines, who are supporting the talent services of Ernst & Young globally. And we are fortunate to have a local Filipino global leader based out of Manila. And it gives me enough pride, gives me great pride to see the innovation coming out of our students. And listening to the pitches this morning, it's really amazing to see the wonder on and the high quality of skills and capabilities that Filipinos bring to the table. And with George being part of our board of judges, right, it gives Gilbert and myself so much pride that Filipinos and even Filipinos beyond Metro Manila. So we have people from the Cagayan Valley this morning who are presenting to us, really bring world-class capabilities to the table. And how do we build on that capability? And that is really the challenge for us to really improve overall the Philippines. I was asked to talk about what I think about what makes a successful innovation. And in my mind, there are three things. I'd call them 3 Ps. One is pain, profit, and person. Pain, profit, and person. And by pain, this ties back to what George mentioned earlier, which is really around what is the real problem, the problem that you're trying to solve, right? So great innovation really tackles real life problems. So the pain that your innovation, that your idea solves is one such component in order to get to truly successful innovation. The second, what I mean by profit is not necessarily money, but a value that is being unlocked in the whole of the ecosystem. The idea should be profitable enough, open and close parenthesis, for the various stakeholders in order for that idea to flourish and in order for the innovation to get adopted. And then finally, person. We need human-centered, user-centric technology and processes in order to ensure full adoption of the innovation. So again, in my mind, I kind of summarize it into pain, profit, and person. And in this run, the second Innovation Hackathon, we have seen ideas that are truly addressing each of these key components of pain, profit, and person. Congratulations to one and all. Over to you, George.
I just want to share how honored I was to be part of this and to get to see, what was going on. And, here I'm coming from outside, not knowing much about the Philippines and hopefully contributing a little bit. But I got to say, innovation is about learning. Innovation is about learning over and over again towards a goal. 6 months ago, I had never been to the Philippines. Now I've been there twice, and I learned a lot during 3 weeks in the Philippines, and I learned a lot now in this process. Just being able to watch the ideas you've talked about, being able to think about them and what does that mean, learn about the Philippine context, learn how you've been able to do things and come up with these fantastic ideas as students, learning from the judges. So for me, there's been this tremendous opportunity just to learn about the Philippines and get a better feeling for the context and what works and what doesn't. So I'm honored. I'm very happy just for having that experience. On the innovations, amazing ideas. All three of you, really interesting things. What would be my definition? And as you think about what does innovation mean? For me, I like to think of innovation as creating new value for stakeholders. And then if you take that apart, what does that mean? Well, number one, new. And that doesn't have to be new to the world, but it has to be something different from the way things were before, whether it's a little bit different or a lot different. But new innovation has definitely new. So value is really important. And that value may be different for every stakeholder in the group. So if you have multiple stakeholders, what that means is you got to think really hard on what's the cost and the benefit and the risk for each stakeholder. And if it doesn't work for all of them, it doesn't work. And so you got to figure out how you make that work. And the last is that, this idea of new and multiple stakeholders and value means you really can't usually know the answer in advance. And so what you got to do is, if you think there's a problem to be solved, talk to the person who's having that problem and figure out whether it's a real problem and figure out whether their answer is something that will work for them. And then put it out there and you will be wrong. And then you test it, you pivot, and you do it again and again and again. So it's creating new value for stakeholders. And the only way to know that is to be there in the minds of the stakeholders and talking to the stakeholders over and over again to figure out where that value is. Okay, on to Gilbert.
to my colleagues and esteemed judges for the second innovation hackathon, of course, with theme breakthrough employee experience through agility and innovation. It is really an honor to join the both of you and to be part of this very interesting project of the People Management Association of the Philippines. I've always been supportive of innovating, how we live, how we work, how we do things. And for me, I just want to congratulate all the participants, those who've submitted their entries, those who've made it to this final pitch. I know it is not easy. I can feel the tension a while ago. That is normal. And you know what you call that? It's part of the growing pains. And let me borrow the words of Theodore Roosevelt. He's saying that nothing in this world will actually be worth doing if it did not mean effort or it did not mean pain and difficulty. What you've all gone through basically is the idea of just embracing that in this world we could always disrupt it with a simple idea that we could all develop to become a solution. And congratulations to the three teams who made it around this final pitch. It's not easy, we understand. We know where you're coming from. We appreciate your passion for the three of you who are trying to address societal issues. And for the three judges, of course, it wasn't an easy conversation and discussion among us. We were trying to see the uniqueness, the relevance, the impact of this to the greater community who we'd like to serve our purpose of making a change. So you talk about innovation. We say we wanted a great impact to society by having something different and new. George mentions about new. I think it is more about ideas that we try to call and make things happen. So again, congratulations. Give yourself a tap at the back. I'm not sure if we could allow this time to have all of them on virtual stage. May I call in all the three participants, or at least a representative, that we will have on screen as we make the final announcement in the second Innovation Hackathon. Is that possible? Can we have the team, let me see, um, the team DS Map and the team Sundo and the second team who actually pitch in for the insurance. Could you all just come up on screen so as we call your team? We just wanted to acknowledge you again for all your great efforts.
Okay, Team Dismap, Team Secure, and Team Sundo, can you please open your
Yes.
videos so that we would be
On
able
virtual stage.
We're seeing
Step.
Sundo already. So
There
Oh,
you
there you go.
They're
go.
very
Yes,
happy
the
bunch
Team
of
Sundo.
people.
Team Sundo, hello.
Hello, Team
Okay,
Sundo.
what about
Alright.
the team DS Map? Show up and tap yourself at the back. You're all winners for us. You did fantastic work, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Where's the team DS Map? We have the team Sundo here.
Or
Cheers to all of
there might
you.
be in the same venue, Gilbert.
Ganun ba yun? Sila ba yan?
See, they're laughing.
Alright. And may drum roll ba to?
All right, so I guess we're ready for the
Alright.
announcement. So there you
Here
go.
goes.
Another one. All right.
I have the privilege. I have the privilege, after very interesting conversation, discussion among the board of judges, of course, composed of Dr. George Westerman, and of course, Denshu, the Sino. We all agreed, at least we all agreed there is a winner from the second Innovation Hackathon of PMAP year
Yay.
2023. And the winner for the second Innovation Hackathon 2023. Are you all ready? Is Team DS Map. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Team Dismap.
May we
Congratulations.
have the representative to open your camera, give us your acceptance of this award and recognition from People Management Association of the Philippines. Congratulations, Team DS Map or this map.
Great job, Team This Map. You really did well. Message, please. Message from your team leader or anyone from Team This
Any
Map.
representative from Team This Map? Just a few words. Okay, please unmute yourself. I guess they're also deliberating who will be. All right, there you go. So we're seeing Christian. Christian. So is that Christian or Aljon?
Thank thank you.
I think they have connection problems.
All
You
right,
can turn off
but
your
I think
video.
thank you is enough. I heard at the very
Christian.
Oh, Christian. So Christian, go ahead.
Our team leader is shocked. Ay, mahina niya.
Okay, I think someone.
Are we good? So we have Christian. Christian, you're saying?
I think someone from Team Sundo here wants to say something. Probably you're representing Team This Map also.
Yes po. This is
There.
Team This Map po.
Hello. Yes.
Hi.
Hello po.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Any word for us?
We are so shocked that we this map won this second innovation hackathon. I am so thankful for the support and for implementing this event. Thank you.
All right.
Yes,
all right.
Eric and
Give
Pinky.
yourself a shout out. Yay!
Shout out everyone. Thank you so much. You know, that was really very heartfelt speech there. So only I said they were not expecting a lot of thank you, but this indeed is a very memorable experience for all of us this year indeed. And this is one of a kind event for PMAP. So let's all share in the joys of the winning team, and we can all see that they're very joyful. So just keep up the spirit of innovation, and who knows, one day some of you might be winners of the third, fourth, or fifth hackathon for PMAP. So may we now call on our board of trustee in charge of the research committee, Miss Alma Albano, to give us her closing message. Miss Alma?
Hello. So once again, we would like to thank everyone for taking part on our second innovative marathon, especially our sponsor, OC Tanner. To our judges, your dedication, expertise, and thoughtful insights had been invaluable throughout this whole process. The ideas and solution presented has been truly remarkable, and it's been inspiring to see so many talented individuals from different backgrounds come together to make a positive impact. I hope this hackathon has been a springboard for team collaboration, friendship, and further experimentation with innovative technologies and ideas. To our participants, Team DISMAP, Secure, and Sundo, the world needs more problem solvers like you. And I am confident that you will continue to find new ways to innovate and make our society better. It's been a privilege to be part of this fantastic event, and I cannot wait to see what great things you all achieve in the future. Again, congratulations to all participants, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Alma, for inspiring us once more. Your leadership in the committee will go a long way. Thank you. And congratulations once again, especially to the winner, this map. Go, go, go. Go for the agribusiness. And thank you also to the other two presenters and innovators. Eric.
And thank you so much, Pinky, for being a great host and a great partner to me. So we'd also like to thank everyone here for making this event a successful one, especially to our sponsors, again, OC Tanner, to our judges, and of course to our innovators. Thank you everyone for joining us. Stay safe and have a blessed long weekend. Thank you and God bless.
Yay. Thank you very much, Pima. Thank you for our coach, Fernando Haminola. Thank you for guiding us for this PMAP event. Thank you po. God bless.
God bless. God bless. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
All right. Here's Eric and Pinky signing off. See you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.